TruCrime Cafe. Come on in. Have a seat. Pour up a cup of truth. Yeah. Names on the corkboard wall, red lines cutting through, cold files on the counter, old lies in the air. Everybody got a story, we just see what's there. Seeking that justice, digging every day. Every little rumor, every word they say. Nothing but nonsense spinning around this town. We break it down, turn it all around. Welcome to the TruCrime Cafe. Come on in, sit down, press play. Pour a hot cup of truth, let it stay. We don't buy that script, they say we're here pulling threads for you, peeling back layers on what ain't true. Stories being sold, narrative up and down. We flip that tail, put the facts in the ground. Late night, black coffee, eyes on the page. Somebody trying to profit from somebody else's pain. Clickbait headlines, dancing on the screen. We cut through the chat to get back to what it means. Who wins, who bleeds, who's hiding the stain, who's laughing on the way to the bank off your pain. We chase that truth like a car in the rain. If the trail go cold, we light it up again. Welcome to the TruCrime Cafe. Come on in, sit down, press play. Pour a hot cup of truth, let it say. We don't buy that script, they say. We're here pulling threads for you, peeling back layers on what ain't true. Stories being sold, narrative up and down. We flip that tail, put the facts in the ground. Is it justice? Or just a show? Are they chasing the truth or chasing the glow in this room? We call that bluff, cause people ain't episodes that you binge and forget. Welcome to the TruCrime Cafe. Welcome to the TruCrime Cafe. Welcome to the TruCrime Cafe. Come on in, sit down, press play. Pour a hot cup of truth, let it stay. We don't buy that script, they say. We're here pulling threads for you, peeling back layers on what ain't true. Stories being sold, narrative up and down. We flip that tail, put the facts in the ground. Welcome to the TruCrime Cafe. Come on in. Have a seat. Pour up a cup of truth. Yeah. Welcome to the TruCrime Cafe. Come on in, have a seat, pour up a cup of truth. Yeah. We here pulling threads, laying them out for you. Names on the corkboard wall, red lines cutting through, cold files on the counter, old lies in the air. Everybody got a story, we just see what's there. Seeking that justice, digging every day. Every little rumor, every word they say. Nothing but nonsense spinning around this town. We break it down, turn it all around. Welcome to the TruCrime Cafe. Come on in, sit down, press play. Pour a hot cup of truth, let it stay. Dirty, dirty green. Yeah, you know what I mean. Smile so clean. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Hands so filthy, unseen. Big man on campus, shark in a Letterman jacket. Laugh while the whole town drowns. He just skims off the habit. Lives in the shadows, fake sugar on his teeth. Tells tales at the cookout. Nobody buys what he speaks. Dirty, daddy green, pocket fat from grief. Plays a Saint on Sunday, wears the mask all week. Got the suits on the string, all the badges on a leash. Blink, once you miss it, he'll drag you to the brink. Dirty, daddy green, by the what he steals. Smiles in your face, have your world gone faster than you think. He laughs while you sink, says it's all just business, as he pushes you to the brink. Dirty, 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 daddy. Dirty, daddy. Dirty, daddy. Pockets, 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 pockets. Dirty, daddy. Dirty, daddy. Pockets fat from grease. Lisa say on Sunday wears the mask all week. Got the suits on a string, all the badges on a leash. Late once you miss it, he'll drag you to the brink. Dirty, daddy. By the way he steals, smiles in your face, signs crooked deals. Every hallway, every street, they're all in his pockets, kissing his feet. Dirty, daddy green. Dirty, daddy green. Little man on the scene trying to sound real tough. Standing on a stool, still ain't tall enough. Reaching for the counter like daddy, pick me up. Wants his lukewarm brew in his favorite sippy cup. Baby pain, stomp those socks. Tiny little sneakers, big boy talk. Puffs that chest, can't lift the lock. Bangs on the door till the hinges pop. Baby pain, just a little guy thinks he running the game. Baby pain, wants a big desk, can't spell his name. In charge of the case, I don't think so. Give him some toys and shut that door. All he wants is to feel that large, but I'm the one in charge. Yeah. Poor little guy ain't got one friend. Crying to his mama, why's it all gotta end? Why? Tears on the floor. Kicks his legs, then he's back for more. Fake mean mug with the jelly on his chin. Throws one punch, then he runs back in. Hides behind mom when the world swings back. Wants big boots, still rocking snags. Baby pay. Just a little guy thinks he running the game. Baby pay. Wants a big desk, can't spell his name. In charge of the case, I don't think so. Give him some toys and shut that door. All he wants is to feel that large, but I'm the one in charge. I'm the one in charge. Stomping up and down, red face, small frame. Tiny little storm trying to make it rain. Wah, that's his war cry. Big boy dreams in a shirt size 5. Baby pay. Just a little guy thinks he running the game. Baby pay. Wants a big desk, can't spell his name. In charge of the case, I don't think so. Give him some toys and shut that door. All he wants is to feel that large, but I'm the one in charge. I'm the one in charge.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Great to see you all back in the house today at the cafe. We are open for business. Thank you all so much for joining us. As always, I do appreciate each and every one of you for being here, taking time out of your day to spend that time with us. You guys rock and roll. I appreciate it so very much. So very much. Today, guys, we are jumping into the black SUV breakdown as we promised. I think it was Saturday. With Eddie's going to be joining us to break this down, so on and so forth. For those of you that have questions on it, we all do, of course. So that's what the show consists of today. It's going to be pretty much the full show. Pretty much. And it'll be a super nice day to do it with a super nice friend of ours, Mr. Eddie, joining us, pretty much. So I hope you're all here for it. And I hope you can all please hit that like button and share this out. Let everybody know what we be doing in here today. As always, I want to thank you all real quick, first and foremost, for those of you I saw over there supporting the uh, typically unique show with Miss Kim. Amazing show as always. And again, I saw all of you guys supporting the lovely Miss Lana Oriani over last night with Truth and Transparency as she did her show with Mr. Christopher Whitcomb. Great show. Amazing show. Lana did an amazing job. So very proud of her, as always, because she always does great stuff. Much appreciated. Lana knows we love her. And thank you, Lana, for everything you do, as always. That being said, you guys know where we're going from this point, as we always do. So grab a seat, get off your feet, grab a cup and fill it up, and let's get this show on the road. Here we go. Here we go.
Neon lights flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with restless rage. Justice written on an unseen page. I sip the silence, bitter taste, waiting for the ghosts to show their face. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. Mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hunt the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the break. At the TruCrime Cafe, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, everybody. Again, it is so wonderful to see you all here with us today at the cafe. As always, open for business. We got a great show planned for you today. Our friend Eddie's going to be joining us for sure. And we're going to be breaking down the elusive black SUV, I guess you could say, that has been talked about um, again and again in the broken plea book as well. Uh, it did come for me today. Very excited. I did read it once. I want to read it again. I think this book is best probably understood after being read more than, I think it has to be read more than once, in my opinion. Okay. So here it is, Christopher Whitcomb's Broken Plea. Very interesting. And again, it's written very well, very easy to read through. Okay. It's got 400 some odd pages with the prologue. I think it's 429 or no. No, I'm wrong. My apologies, guys. Yeah, 429. I think so, which includes the acknowledgments. Of course, in the back of the book, it's interesting. And like I said yesterday, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving it a chance. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to look into what happens with this as it's read. My goal is to read again and give everybody time to read their version of it, whether it's audio, video, uh, or audio. You know what I mean by that. Kindle versions, whatever it is, read it. If you wanted it and you get it, read it. Okay. And I'm going to give everybody the chance a week or so to read it, maybe two, and I'm going to then at that point reach back out to Chris and see if he'll join us so we can ask questions based off of that. Okay. I love, it's funny too, Mike. I love the smell of a new book. I don't know what it is. I always, since I was a child, I'm weird. I've always loved the smell of a brand new book. It's weird, very weird. Even older books, I like the smell of it. It's strange. The print, it's nuts. I'm goofy, guys. We know. So, like I said, I will be joined by Eddie today at some point, and we will delve into his thoughts on the black SUV as well as mine. We'll be referring to Pop Roddy's videos that he's put out on it, so on and so forth. A few different things. I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure. So, who we got joining us in here is what is important to me right now, and I appreciate all of you guys joining us today. It looks like the one and only Mert's in the house. Of course, our own lovely SRBBB. Great to see her. Sluther75 as well. Always happy to have you. Gulf Coast Bum, welcome back to you. Harry Potter's Beard, welcome to you and your beard. Wonderful to have you. The last 24, my production manager himself, Mikey. Thank you so much for joining us, brother. Always love you. I appreciate you. Baby Ames. Baby Ames. I want to scream that with the Baby Pain song. It's crazy. Genuinely confused. Welcome. Great to see you today. Rubik's Cube 3. Wonderful to have you here. Thank you for joining us, as always. Moonflower Laza, welcome back to you, my dear. Wonderful to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Miss Wendy, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Also, Karmic Retribution in the house with us, guys. Make sure, if we can, to drop that link as you always ask, please and thank you. Make sure you guys jump over, subscribe to Karmic's channel. You will not be disappointed, for sure. Mary G. Coleman, welcome back to you. Great to see you today. Dale Harrison, welcome and thank you, sir. Sluther75 dancing around in here. Thank you for being here with us again, dear. I appreciate you. Lisa Winchester, thank you for being here. The Mama D3, welcome to you. Great to see you. And Senton, welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. Dylan's in the house. What's up, Junior? Great to see you, brother. Noni McPoppins, good afternoon, my dear. Wonderful to see you. Thank you for living us or for joining us. Live life to the fullest. Wonderful to see you. And pretty much Finland, same with you. Great to see you today. All right. It looks like Eddie is in the chat so far. Great to see you here, buddy. Grateful. Looking forward to you joining us. Jen 7S, welcome back to you, dear. Always a pleasure. Turkey Creek Gal, wonderful to see you as well. I hope you're feeling good. Oh, Mr. Lenny Mo 7, welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. Justice for Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Thank you for being here. Ms. Lana's in the house again. Wonderful to see you, Miss Lana. I am so looking forward to the round table situation. Amazing job last night. Amazing job last night with that interview. I cannot say it enough. We all appreciate what you did last night, and as always, we love you truly and honestly. And yeah, Miss Kim on the panel for the round table, absolutely. Um, we love you, Lana. Thank you for what you did, what you do always. Italian girl, welcome to you. Great to see you. Michelle F, welcome back. Excuse me. Miss Becca, good to see you today. Yvette Clifton, wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining us. Rissa Roberts, great to see you. Jesse Schul's in the house, third day in a row. It must be a holiday. Great to see you, Jesse. Thank you for joining us. Clear over from Thailand. I'm sure it's late at night now, so we're grateful to have Jesse here when he should be probably going to bed. Great to see you, sir. Sleuthy Kitty again, meow meow. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Let me slide down to the bottom. Down, Mary Holt, welcome. Good to see you. It's been a while. So wait, or I always do that, winging it every day. I don't know why I want to call him swinging it. So weird. Good to see you, winging it. Thank you for joining us, and I'm sorry for that. CAO Kane, welcome. Wade Bird, great to see you, Miss Christine. All right, left or Jeff Hanna, welcome to you. The lovely Miss Kawanda in the house, great to see you, dear. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great day. Mimi 422, welcome back to you as well. Cynthia Rosen, RN, welcome to you, dear. Anna Zorman, welcome. Great to see you. Miss Anna D, you as well. Thank you for doing it. Are being here today and joining us. I don't know what I was saying there. Dog Mom, welcome to you and your dogs. Julia Rose, welcome to you. Love the way you spell your name too. That's really cool. I think that might be everybody. Hey, I think. Okay. That being said, let's welcome our guest, as always, Mr. Eddie, joining us. Thank you for joining us today, Eddie. Thank you for being here, brother. Always appreciated. Always an honor to have you here, and I appreciate you so very much, sir.
Good to see you as always. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I appreciate you taking time out of your life. I mean, I know you're in here often, but this is, a little extra special time we're taking to break this down today, to explain things about um, this black SUV that is a point and a topic of contention in this case. Again, the author of the book, Christopher Whitcomb, brings up this SUV more than once as he wants to talk about it for some specific reason, and there's a lot of different issues with it, so that's why we're breaking it down. At this point, I'm sending Dago a big star to put on his phone. Uh-oh, a star. Uh-oh. I have one of those metal stars on my thing, but I'd love a big one to put at the top of the peak. Lexi, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, for the signal. I got you, dear. Got you. Dylan says he thinks the black SUV is a red herring. I don't know, buddy. Could be, though. Good point. Good thought process. How are you today, Eddie?
Oh, good. It's raining, but other than that, I'm doing well.
We got pretty nice weather today. If you could hear, if my microphone wasn't so sound resistant, you could hear all the mowers going behind me. And I believe it's like right now, I think it's 72, and it is beautiful out here today. So I will say that much. I'm sorry you're getting rain.
Yeah, that brings up a question I'm curious about. Have you guys over there where you live mowed the grass yet?
3 times, bud. 3 times. It grows like crazy here.
Some people have, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
When I say that we haven't yet over here, that means for the most part. I mean, there is a couple people that have, and my grass is getting close to where it's going to need its first mowing for the season. But
yeah,
generally, we haven't. Nobody has cut their grass yet.
Got you. Well, I like my yard kind of like a golf course. I keep it that short, perfect looking style. So we cut it a lot. Eddie's in Minnesota, Amanda, not Wisconsin. I get it though. But yeah, so we've done it 3 times, and we're constantly trimming. I live on a large acreage of land, old farmland is what it is. I have an old farmhouse. I have a garage, a shed, and a barn, and behind that I have a marsh, I call it, and then the river behind that. Um, and we get a lot of moisture, rain, a lot of different animals around through here, including the Mothman thing that lives in my backyard too. And the grass grows fast out here. Plus, we have a pool. We have to keep that trimmed down. So we and a ghost. Yes, I have a ghost. So we have to keep it cut down. I can't stand long grass because I have a dog and a cat and ticks and fleas and all that fun stuff. So that's why I keep it trimmed so low. So we started earlier than we usually do. We don't usually have to cut until right around the beginning of May, but it was like crazy with all the rain and stuff, and it just took off. So I was like, it's time. So anyway, sorry to make that such a big issue to talk about. Once I get talking, you know how I am.
Did you say you have a goat?
A goat? No, a
Oh.
ghost. GOH. I love it. No, that was my fault. It's a ghost. A ghost in my house. Somebody in chat had said
Ghost.
Dago has ghost. Dago has a ghost too. I do. My house is haunted, I think. I don't know if you ever saw that, Eddie, when I was sitting here talking and something tapped me on my, I spun around the other way, but something tapped me on my arm and scared the hell out of me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a ghost. No, I wouldn't mind having a goat, though. It would
Yeah,
help
if
with
you
the
had a
yard.
goat, you wouldn't need a mower.
Exactly. It'd help with the back, especially the back part of the yard. The back half, I call it, because I got 4 acres just here, and then what I have back past I own part of the river with my property, so you can't really own a river, but you know what I mean. It's on my property. I'll say that much. Hey, Senor, good to see you. But it would help. It would definitely help if I had a goat. Make some cheese and all that fun stuff. Ew.
Dago, you've probably seen them already, but this morning I was busy, looking around some of these videos for like reference that I emailed you that we can use to,
Yes.
start our conversation. I have
Absolutely.
timestamps in them, so I picked out the relevant segments of them so that we're not, all of our time isn't consumed by watching the entire thing.
Sure.
But we'll get the gist of the information out of them. And then also there's probably a couple videos we may not get to it, depending on where our conversation takes us. They can be resources, if our conversation goes that way, we could look at them. So I think there's around 6, but for sure we'll rely on 3 or so.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Give me 1 second, Eddie. I'm trying to set something here real quick as we sit. Please, if you feel, say hello. Give me one.
Hello, everybody. I have a question. While Dago's away, I have a question for everybody on an unrelated topic. So concerning eyewitness testimony, do you feel that it is strong, direct evidence, like at trial? Like if someone were to say, I saw the following, and in chat, put on a scale of 1 through 10, because it's not like 1 or 2, because it's like it has to be on a scale. So 1 being like it's unreliable, direct evidence testimony, and 10 being it's strong evidence. And again, we're talking about eyewitness account, eyewitness testimony.
All right.
What someone saw or experienced.
So I missed what you said, sir. What was your question that you asked
So
them?
concerning eyewitness testimony.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being it's not very trustworthy, it's not reliable?
I think
direct type of evidence.
my answer, Angel D, good to see you, dear. I think, and Chickadee, welcome to you, sweet Melissa, as well. I think my answer is going to be different. I think eyewitness testimony depends on, in my opinion, on who the eyewitness is. And I know that's probably not the answer everybody wants, but there are some situations where I would be it would be more trustworthy with me than it would be if it wasn't, if that makes any sense. That's my answer. I'm sorry.
We got a smart chat.
Oh, we do. Very much so. Very, very proud of them. They throw out the best statements, questions, and opinions on everything. I'm telling you, Eddie, I love these people. Truly.
And I should have went on to say, you know, and it's try to take this case, the Idaho 4 case, out of your, you know, don't use this case as like your standard. Like just omit this case from your mind and just in general, like even like in your normal everyday experience with people, if someone that you know says something, doesn't necessarily have to be, in other words, doesn't necessarily have to be in a trial setting. So just what people say, you know, they went fishing and they caught a fish and they're relaying that story to you or whatever. That's just for example.
Gotcha. Makes
Is
sense.
it, can you rely on someone, what they saw, what they did, what they heard?
It's a good point. It's a good point. I understand as what you're saying with it too. How can I send you a message? You can send me an email. Which is usually the best way to reach me because I'm always looking through those. I get so many a day. That would be at this point my best option, I think, Chickadee. If one of the mods could throw my email address in the chat, please and thank you. I would greatly appreciate it. So again, folks, I see where Eddie's going with the whole eyewitness point that he's making is kind of important. Because you got to think about it. Like, we don't know this person. Thank you, SRB. Right there's the email.
I always have an ulterior motive.
Oh,
there's always a catch with me.
Yes. I think that's why you're so well respected, sir. Malky, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And there again is the email. If you want to reach out to me, please feel free. But no, it's a good point with what we're going to delve into today. Okay, an eyewitness account of a situation. So an eyewitness states, for instance, an example, somebody robs a bank. I saw 3 men run out the front door. 2 of them had on black ski masks. One of them was wearing a President Nixon Halloween mask. Don't ask me where this comes from, okay? And they ran down the right side of the street heading towards the north. That's an eyewitness statement in a bank robbery. Now, if that actually happened, step by step, word for word, piece by piece, that's a great testimony to that. Now, what does have a tendency to happen is people get confused within their own. I think that's where it came from, Angel. I was thinking of Point Break with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. Good catch. So what can happen, though, is what actually happened with that, okay, is that 3 people came out. One had on a black ski mask. One of them had on a President Nixon mask. The other one had on a George Washington mask, or I'm sorry, a Jimmy Carter mask. We'll go there. And they ran left and went towards the south instead of the north. And there's a mistake made there, okay? So you have the FBI looking in one direction when they should be going the other direction, and it can cause problems. And the point that I'm trying to make here with this is that it's not always a great, statement or a testimony to what they saw because they get confused. People get, in a situation like that, guns blazing, people running out, the bank alarms going off, whatever you want to call it. People get excited and they go, it's trauma and they can make mistakes. That is why, again, a witness testimony is not always the best testimony, in my opinion. Depending on who the person is, what the situation is, how it went down, all of that, in my opinion, it should be part of it. Let me stop that for people that don't like that. So that's just, again, an opinion. And it also, one more point, somebody just said it in the chat, is a very good point. An eyewitness testimony that person could also be a suspect trying to throw you off of a situation. Now, I'm not saying within what we're doing is what it means, but it is a good point. So welcome, Sauce. Biscuits, good to see you. Every time I see you, I get hungry. Thank you for joining us. So I hope I explained that well enough to your standards, buddy.
Yes, you did. And a lot of study has been done on the fragility of memory
Yeah.
and why eyewitness testimony is so unreliable. That said, and this seems kind of contradictory to what we just established, but because in a courtroom setting, if someone were to stand up and point and say, that person sitting there is who did it to me. I mean, that is strong testimony. That's very powerful. And that can be weaponized too.
Sure. Absolutely.
In other
Absolutely.
words, because it is so powerful, someone can be coerced, DoorDash drivers saying they saw somebody, so on and so forth.
Right.
People can be coerced to say, that person I saw, right?
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course. Very much so. Very good point. Real quick, to Dr. German Jew, I respect your feelings, sir. Nothing's going to happen. Sleuthing for answers. The case is closed and solved. It's not like this case is the list. There's literally zero reason to cover up the money. I respectfully disagree with you, my friend. I appreciate you joining us. And I appreciate and respect your feelings on this, but I do respectfully disagree with you. I do believe there's more to come from this, and I believe that it's going to be surprising even to people that believe it's case closed. I do. This is just an opinion, and we shall see. Of course, you may be right. You may be fully right, but at this point, I'm not ready to accept it that way yet. So, thank you for your input, sir. I do appreciate you, of course, your view and you joining us and inputting your feelings. So, so again, today, guys, what we're going to be doing is there's been a lot of welcome, Sarah. Oh, Andy Kane. Good to see you, sir. Okay. We're going to be breaking down this process behind this black SUV that's been brought up many, many times. It was pointed out by Chris Whitcomb, the author again of the Broken Plea book that just dropped. And he really wanted to talk about it. And when we interviewed him with the Devil's Advocate show, I'm the one that said, "Go ahead, let's hear it. Tell us about this black SUV." He did, on with his aspect of it the best he could, and other people have had issues with this for a while. Pavarotti put out a couple great videos on this that I did catch up with, and I have my thoughts on this. Eddie has his thoughts on this. Eddie's going to point out why he believes what he does, and will I go along with that at this point? It's very likely to some aspect because I have watched Bob's stuff now, so on and so forth. But we're still going to talk about it, break it down, discuss it, and give everybody what we believe is going on with this vehicle per se. I am going to show this real fast here just to get us into the groove with this. To kick it off because it's what started it again, I believe.
I was hoping, this is just a suggestion, but I was hoping the place to start would be in chronological order with where we first were exposed to watching the windows of the house, and build up our working knowledge of like our process of how we're going to be trying to figure this out, and then end up with that. So we have like the foundation in order to have the conversation once we get there. Meaning the Pavarotti video with the DoorDash driver.
Yeah. Okay.
This kind of takes us way back, but that's when he first was instructing his viewers with the science and how we can know something without seeing it in the case of these
that's
security cameras.
Yeah, that's fine. All this is going to do is just a quick, couple few words he says to show us why we started talking about this again with this video.
Sure.
Hey, Miss Potts, great to see you, dear. Thank you for being here. If you're leaving, I'm sad, but thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you very much. And let me kick this real quick. Like I said, this is what brought this back to the table again. And this is why this all is happening today, in my opinion.
I've got to. Oh, no, we're not letting you go until you tell us to cut off the fucking feed.
We can go into the black SUV.
We could go in. Yeah, I got a great question, but let's go. Yeah, if you want to go there, let's go SUV right now. Let's do it.
Well, you brought it up. What's the question?
Well, you already teased it a little bit about the signature sound of the SUV, and it comes and goes.
Yeah,
it sounded like you had more to say about.
I have a lot more to say about it because this is already out there, but I think it's misunderstood. There were two SUVs.
All right, and I'm going to stop it right there. This is what brought this to the table. If you could barely hear me in the background there behind what Lee was saying let's talk about the SUV. I was curious what he wanted to talk about with it. So, as Eddie said, we're going to start off going back a bit. Okay, when Pavarotti, and can we drop Pav's link in the chat, guys? I want you guys to be able to subscribe to his channel if you have not yet done it. Not everybody is very fond of Pav, but I want respect given to him in here as we discuss him and show the clips of stuff that he has. I respect him for what he does. I think he's a very hard worker with this, and I always have respected that. So let's make sure we drop his link as well. 1 minute here. Thanks for sending me these, Eddie. I love that you set this up this way, too. It's very helpful.
So, yeah, the one we're looking for to start us off with is it'll have Molly, the DoorDash driver, with the big pink lettering.
Yeah. Do you remember which time, if you dropped it first, second, third?
Good question.
Last?
It's one of the first ones that I sent, if I recall.
One of the first ones. Okay. Big pink writing, you said?
Yes.
100. That's probably when he hit 100K, I think. So yeah, gotcha. Where's it at? I agree.
And by the way, to try to strike a balance between getting to all these videos and watching enough of its content to, take away enough useful information from them and also have enough time to discuss, I suggest with all of them, play them at 1.5 speed. So in doing so, I don't think it speeds it up to the point where anything gets lost in, a confusing mashing up of words. I think it's still very listenable at that speed.
Sure.
But we'll plow through them much quicker by doing that.
Not a problem.
Timestamp on this one, because we don't have to watch the whole thing on any of these. If you start this one at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. This one. Wait.
245.
I think you might have the wrong.
This is the one. Debunk the read up more.
Yeah, you have the wrong one. This is not the DoorDash one.
Oh, it was the one with the pink writing. That's why I thought that's what you were talking about. Okay, hold on.
Maybe more than one has pink writing.
Maybe it would make
It's
sense.
the DoorDash. It'll have Molly, the DoorDash.
Family of Champions. Hold on a minute. Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. No, there must have been 2 for that one. Or maybe you sent me. Let me see. Well, it's not Lana. It's Pav, right?
Pav. Yeah, right.
That's what I thought. Okay. 1 minute. Today's the 27th. Right. So, let's see. You started sending me. Try this one.
Right before your time, 9 o'clock, shortly before 9.
Yeah. Nope. That's not it either. Hold on. We'll get there. How many did you send, Eddie? Do you remember exactly how many you sent?
I'm guessing 6.
Okay, then. So it looks like they start at 9:48.
Yeah.
My time.
Yep.
And that's the one that says 100K plus recklessness in Idaho. Hold on. Let me bounce off that one up to the next one. In 10 minutes later is the revealing expose special part 1, Whitcomb, hero or sus to us. Let me see. 10:07. That's the family of champions. Black Ford Explorer. No. Hold on. We're getting there. 10:08.
If you can't find the one,
I found it. There it is.
Okay.
Thank the Lord. I was like, wait a minute. This is the one with Molly in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. It's pink writing that says "bam." So there we go.
It's always the last place you look, too.
Yeah. Yep. All right,
Okay, so 2 minutes, 45 seconds. A good place to begin with.
Get a big
And then
old
we'll go to 17 minutes.
2 minutes or 17 minutes full. Okay.
2 minutes, 45 seconds is where we'll start.
To 17 minutes. I got you, bud. All right, good stuff. Big old picture of Paul right in the face. Good to see you, brother. Here we go.
Okay, you can see what can only be described as a gentle slope all the way from like this car right here, all the way up almost to the end of the King Road driveway. Now, where you see Gundy standing right here, he's not much higher than the black Ford right here, but he's significantly lower than this portion up here of the road that goes in between King and Queen. And you can see right here how much higher this elevation is than the top of this Ford Explorer. It goes uphill significantly right where Gundy's standing. Here's an even better example of how the road goes almost directly uphill right as you turn into the road in between King and Queen, right here, almost even with the dumpster. And then it continues to go uphill. You would need to be all the way up here before you appear in the third window of that house in the reflection. Michael Adario did the best drive-through to give you this example. You can see it's a gentle slope all the way up to the driveway here, and then it's going to go at a sharp angle up. You would be right here turning when you're on that rear reflector, and you're going to be right here when you hit the third window. And we're going to prove
Yeah, I had this on 1.5 speed, so
that because we've got video footage of vehicles hitting those spots and then hitting this spot right here. And we have several examples of it, so we can time it out, and I'm going to prove it this time. So you know the vehicles that you see that are making this loop, just like Rosendahl and Tisdale say in their police report. When you come around the Queen Road Apartments, there's this little extension right here. This is where the DoorDash driver parked the second time, as I'm going to show you. This is where Tisdale would have seen her parked. This is where she would have seen Tisdale right here. And it's now going to be proven through her statement to Gooch and Payne. Right here is where you see the vehicle coming through on the third window. And you can see as it turns here next to the dumpster, this is where you see the headlights. And then you're at the King Road driveway. Now you're passing 1112. Here is the house where you see the reflections of all the headlights and tail lights that give everything away. So once again, when vehicles pull in, you can see them all the way up to about right here on that 1112 camera. Then in the windows of that house, you can pick up the reflections of those taillights right here. And as they turn right there, you can pick them up even better. But here's an example. All right, we got a vehicle pulling through here. This is the 330 car. And right here in this window, that's right before you turn in between King and Queen. So here's the house where that camera is located. What you just seen that car do was pass this house right here, and you see its reflections in that other window as it reaches right here. 1, 2, 3, there it goes. 3:30 and 47 seconds. Now, less than a second later, you can already see his headlights coming up around the Queen Road apartments here. Then you see the vehicle coming around. That's how you know that that vehicle was topping that hill close to this point right here when its taillights show up in that third window. Then you see the vehicle continue around the Queen Road apartments. And as it reaches the little dead end street right here and starts to turn to the right to go in between these King and Queen Road apartments, this is where you're seeing headlights show up on the other house over there to let you know they're making this corner. What you see right here at 3:31:19. Here's a closer look. There's the headlights going around that corner. And then a short time later, you can see him coming down and hanging the left and then driving out. We're going to zoom it in and slow it down. Right there, the extra light, you can see the vehicle coming through, turning left, and then it's going to come down back into view. Here's what you're seeing that car do. It's irrefutable, and it does it every time. What you're seeing reflecting in that window is when that vehicle hits right here. You can see the lights start to reflect as soon as it comes out around 1112. And then it hangs a left and it goes down. Look at this line. Okay, this is the best way that I can explain what I'm saying right here and prove it using science. And I can't tell you how important it is because I'm about to prove by the end of this video that that was Tisdale's undercover cop car making that 356 pass. Therefore, it was not Brian Kohberger's. And this is irrefutable. If you follow me right here, this is the house that you see the reflections in. That's this house right here, 1119 King Road. Now, you see this little circle right here. This is a screenshot taken of that vehicle I just showed you pulling around, and this is the first shot that you can see the headlight reflecting in this window. And then you see it reflect and come around. What you're seeing is that headlight reflect right here as that vehicle comes around. And I can prove it because you never see headlights in these windows at all. And here's why you don't. Because this window right here, this area right here, is in this portion of the house right here. These two windows are further this way. You can see here is the front door where that goes in, and you have two windows, then the house. So here's the front door. You come over, here's those two windows, and then here's this window and this little extra reflecting spot. But 1112 right here, this house is actually as high as this elevation over here. So when the vehicle's coming through here, the reflection in these windows won't show because this house blocks them. So you would never see lights in these windows as cars come down because of this house right here blocking it. But as soon as this vehicle gets past this house that's blocking the lights right here, you see the reflection right here. And it's called line of sight. So when you take this window, which is this window right here, this area right here, and you draw a straight line to where this house no longer can block the reflection, and that straight line comes up right here. So when that vehicle passes this line of sight and it's no longer blocked by 1112, you see its reflection. So when you see vehicles come around this corner and a light shows right here, it's reflecting the vehicle coming around this way. At the same time, when you see a vehicle go this way and you see its tail lights reflect for the last time right here, it's because that vehicle has crossed this line of sight point. There is no refuting what I just showed you right here. That's science, baby. And this is where it becomes extremely important, because here's the DoorDash driver pulling in at 346. And as she pulls past 1112, you'll see the tail lights in the window and where they stop. They remain stopped there for a few seconds. And then she continues to turn in between king and queen. There's the reflection. And it just kind of hangs out right there. Here's what she did. She pulled up to about right here where she stopped for 3 or 4 seconds. Then she continued on around this corner to right here where she stops and she parks. And you see her parked. Watch again. As she comes in and comes around past 1112 here, we're going to zoom in on this window. And she gets up just past king or queen, 1122 king, and she parks for about 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then she turns in between king and queen. There's the reflection right at the line of sight, and she parks. Now, here is the screenshot I just took of the DoorDash's tail lights. And again, you can see it's in this window right here. And when you take your line of sight to the last place you could have seen that, it was right here. But she parks right here the first time. When she first parks, she stops here, pulls in, and then she parks right here for just a little bit. And I'm going to prove that because she turns her headlights off, but you can still see her parking lights are on because you'll see this reflection stay there. Watch, it gets bright, it stops, it dims, and then it goes out. She parks right there. Then we see her a few minutes later walking up the road here at 351-31. She's going to walk to the end of the street here, stand there for a second, do something on her phone. And then after a few seconds, she's going to turn around. She's going to signal with that flashlight. And then she's going to walk back to her car. There's her flashlight signal. Now she's walking back to her car. She's going to get in her car and then pull behind the King Road residence. So she's then.
Hold up. 1 minute. If you don't mind, Eddie, that's interesting to me. I missed that somehow. I remember seeing this. Hold on. This is interesting as all hell to me. 1 second.
And then pull behind the King Road residence. So she's then going to walk to her car, get in, pull behind. She's going to turn around. She's going to signal with that flashlight. And then she's going to walk back to her car.
I never caught that signal thing before. That's interesting as all hell. What's up, 1-1? Anyway, I'm sorry to break that up, but I just wanted to make sure I heard and saw that right. And it absolutely does look like she signals somebody with that light, that flashlight, folks. Interesting.
There's her flashlight signal. Now she's walking back to her car. She's going to get in her car and then pull behind the King Road residence. So she's then going to walk to her car, get in, pull behind the King Road residence, park facing south, and then another vehicle pulls out up here, and it drives down where its headlights are seen in that window until it pulls out of the King Road neighborhood right here. Watch this window. Headlights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, before it pops up in that window, and then we see it pull out. 10 seconds when you first see his headlights in the top window. Let's count it down right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There he is. Now, Molly then.
Thank you, Tara. God bless, hon. Very generous and very much appreciated.
I think we're getting close, right?
Yeah, I was starting to watch the time on it. We're almost there. No worries.
Vehicle leaving her lights on. And she walks down to right here, and she looks at the courtyard in the back of the house, and she contemplates on taking the food to the back door because that's what she said her app told her to do. As she's doing that, a vehicle drives through past her that she identifies as a tan sedan with a guy with blonde spiky hair in it. She then decides to take the food to the front door and snaps a picture on her app at 3:59:00, walks back to her car, gets in it, and then drives out of the King Road neighborhood. And here is her taillights as she backs up. You can see they fade away as she starts to pull out. Then seconds later, once she passes line of sight on 1112, right there, boom, boom, she pulls out.
Okay.
All right.
So real quick, I just want to remind everyone, Pavarotti broke that down on October 30th. That's the date of the video of 2025. He did an excellent job of explaining it. Very easy to understand. The rest of the video that we didn't watch, so like we see Molly in the interview room with Payne there. So from about 17 minutes to 37 minutes, she's just saying, where she drove and what she did, which coincides to where Pavarotti is showing us where she drove. She explains that she drove and turned, between the 1122 King Road house and the 500 Queen Road apartments up that steep hill. So she's not lying. She's telling the investigators that she drove there, and with science, Pav broke it down, proving that she did. So everything jives, in other words. There's no refuting it. Sure. And then the rest of the video talks about, so like at 37 minutes on, if you want to rewatch, that it's breaking down the Tisdale Ford Fusion, the guy with the spiky hair, and the time delta, the difference in the time. I forget what it was, 1 hour and 7 minutes. Someone help me out. You get the idea.
Absolutely.
And lastly, so, the internet has a way of policing itself and the nonsense. The nonsense gets squelched out. So, in other words, if someone's putting out incorrect information, it's not allowed to stand. And the internet is not too shy about calling it out either. If something is misguided or incorrect, it will be stomped out and shouted down and corrected or whatever. So if my point here is, if anyone has the correct science, if anyone's saying Pavarotti's wrong, be constructive. Show us your work product, replace this failed science with the correct answer. Pavarotti, I guarantee you, is open-minded enough and would accept, a correction if he's wrong.
I agree.
But
I don't think he is, though, with that.
no,
That
I
what
don't
we
think
just
he is
watched,
with
I don't
that.
think he is at all.
So for someone to refute it, just based on a dislike, that's not helpful. That's just
That's not what we should be doing out here at all anyway.
right.
So
Well, I guess it's like this. I'm not a believer of the heliocentric solar system model because I'm a fan of Copernicus, but
Right.
more so because it's the proven theory. So
absolutely.
anyway, that is the background of how, what we can use to our advantage when trying to understand where these cars are going back there. Now,
Very
David,
good point. Very good point.
do you want to do the black Ford Explorer video next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We won't have to watch the whole thing.
I have all day for this, bud, so I'm good. Give me 1 minute. Excuse me. All right. Again, guys, please, somebody make sure to drop Pavarotti's link in the chat, please, and thank you.
Start at like 30 seconds.
All right.
And I'm here to discuss the Idaho 4 case. And it's time for some people to pay the piper on certain aspects of this case that we have been working on for some time. It's interesting. Many people out there that are following this case close, covering it, trying to figure out what's real and what's not, have all shied away from the elephant in the room that is right in our face that I have speculated about several times now. My speculation each day with each new piece of evidence turns less like speculation and more like fact with every single piece of evidence that's released. In this video, of course, this is just my speculation, just trying to figure out some things. I'm going to ponder on some new evidence that some may say would prove exactly what I have suggested. Others would say, not so much. I will let you be the judge at the end. But one thing's for certain. These two vehicles parked in the driveway of the King Road residence on the morning of November 13th, 2022, when a 911 call was placed at 11:56 a.m. Officers arrived in an amazingly quick manner within minutes. And these two vehicles were parked in the driveway. a black Ford Explorer, a red Jeep Wrangler. We now know that both of these vehicles belong to the family of one of the victims in the case, Ethan Chapin. We are quite certain that Ethan, a triplet with his two siblings that attended the university as well, would not necessarily be likely to have two nearly brand new vehicles as his siblings were afoot. And most of us have known for some time that the likelihood ratio of Ethan driving the red Jeep was extremely high. I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of 5.067 octillion to 1. And it is also very likely, using a likelihood ratio, that that black Ford Explorer was driven by either Ethan's brother or Ethan's sister. And the likelihood ratio on that is a gazillion to 1. Yet, we find this odd occurrence. These vehicles are both parked in the driveway upon the arrival of the officers responding to the 911 call. They were both impounded for a considerable amount of time, leaving the two siblings afoot, which is strange if it did not have anything to do with the events surrounding this atrocity. In this video, we're going to look at some facts, and the facts don't lie. The interpretations may or may not be correct. And again, at the end, I'll let you decide. In this stretch of Moscow, Idaho, some things are now a certainty. Ethan Chapin lived in an apartment somewhere around the 76th gas station with the A&W root beer in this area. However, Ethan's brother lived near the King Road residence in fraternity housing at the Sigma Chi fraternity in this area right here. Yet Ethan frequently stayed with his girlfriend Xana at the 1122 King Road residence here. Not really sure where his sister lived. So knowing that, and then we look and we see the vehicles that were present at the King Road residence the morning of the atrocity. We have Xana's vehicle, one of the victims in the case. We have Kaylee's new Range Rover, possibly a loaner Range Rover while hers was being repaired. Either way, another victim in the case. And then we had Maddie's Chevy Cruze, yet another victim in the case. And then along with them, we would expect to find Ethan's new Jeep, because yet another victim in the case was Ethan. What we wouldn't expect to find is this black Ford Explorer that we believe really didn't belong to Ethan. And considering Ethan doesn't actually live here, but he did frequently stay with his girlfriend Xana, and his siblings certainly don't live here, and in fact live in other parts of the campus. Well, I think it's odd that both of these vehicles just happened to be here and continued to be here for quite some time, as we see in police reports. Now, the police reports, for some reason, want to attribute both of these vehicles to Ethan.
All right, Daigle, let's pause here and discuss.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he's established that it's very unlikely that Ethan will own two vehicles while his siblings are afoot. I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah, this is the red one, for those of you that didn't catch it or didn't understand. The red is Ethan, the Jeep is Ethan's, but it's broke down. My understanding is it had a battery or an electrical issue or something like that. This is the other vehicle that was the Chapin vehicle. Since there's three of them there on campus, Ethan typically drove this. This, I'm going to guess, Maisie and Hunter shared. Okay. But even that night, we know that Ethan drove this that night as well for the Hunga Dunga, whatever the hell that party thing they did was. But anyway, so that you guys understand, this is the Chapin vehicle. This is a Chapin vehicle. They're both owned by the family, but different people use different things. So I don't want anybody confused. Sorry.
And so the time of 7 minutes to 11 and a half minutes, he's going to establish how in these reports, like when they go to remove the ECUs and have them forensically analyzed, when they go to impound the vehicles, anything that requires paperwork, they are going to consistently refer to both of these vehicles as Ethan's vehicles, which is, I think we'd all agree, pretty suspicious.
Right.
Right. So I don't think we need to listen to that. I just kind of gave a summary as to what you would hear and what he would be talking about. So from 11 minutes and 30 seconds onward is kind of, I guess, how he's will summarize the method of how that black Ford Explorer got there.
All right. And
using the tools that we've learned with the previous video, using the windows and the reflections, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to jump up to this, and this is where he goes into this explanation. Ready to go, sir?
Ready.
All right. Onward. Moving forward, Jesse.
Belong to, well, look at Ethan Chapin, belonging to Ethan Chapin. Isn't that strange? They associate both of those vehicles with Ethan. They wanted both of their ECUs. They wanted to see where Ethan was driving both of those vehicles. It's difficult to drive two vehicles at once, it seems. But I wonder whatever happened to this ECU information in these vehicles. Do we really need them? Nah, because we have video. Now, a long time ago, in this case known as the Idaho 4, there was a content creator. And this creator was very thorough in his analysis of different things. And
now I'm going to slow this down a tinge, guys, because I want to make sure I don't miss certain things. Just down to normal speed, I'll say that, or 125. Going a little quick, just through this part of it, because I want to make sure I get all this. Excuse me. On we go.
He never showed his face, probably because he was scared if he did, I would punch it in. Him and I were mortal enemies. Yet I did pay attention to some of his work that I knew he was very thorough on and spent a lot of time on. He went by different names over time, such as Get a Clue, Brent Kopackaberger.
And one thing I'll tell you right now, I fully agree with him on this because I had the same feeling towards the same person. I'll just say that. Unfortunately, probably one of the only people out here that's ever made me feel that way. But anyway, on and on.
But he had two different analysis that he did that was very thorough that a lot of people thought was very accurate. One of them, he titled Suspect Vehicle Number 5. And he hypothesized through a lot of focused effort around a particular vehicle that at the time could only be seen and heard on 1320 and 1330 Linda Lane. And that vehicle he titled Suspect Vehicle Number 5. And he hypothesized that that vehicle was a big black rumbly bumbly truck. And you can see the truck coming down Blake, turning on to Taylor, going past 1320 Linda Lane. You can hear it. And then you can hear the vehicle as it pulled into the King Road neighborhood on 1330 Linda Lane. And then you can hear the vehicle stop running. Now, he was so emphatic on this, he believed that that was some type of cleanup crew. And he literally sat there and he listened for hours upon hours to hear if that vehicle ever started back up, and it never did. And that's where he lost me, because I did the same thing just to verify his results, and I never heard it start back up again either after hours of listening to it, which told me there is no way that was a cleanup crew, because they were still sitting at the King Road residence hours upon hours later, and that didn't make any sense to me. But he was very, very particular about this specific event. And here's what he listened to.
So I'm going to make a real quick comment. This is something I'm taking seriously. So somebody that's coming in here that I've not seen before wants to make jokes about this, you're not going to be here, okay? I'm not a mean person. I'm not an ass about things, but I've seen this about 36 times, and I'm not playing with it. So if you can't respect the channel and the people in the channel that want to hear these things, you just shouldn't be here. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on.
So naturally, when they released the 1112 King Road footage, the first vehicle that I really wanted to get a look at was what he thought was that big black rumbly bumbly truck. Because according to him, it pulled into the King Road residence parking lot and never left. And then when I finally got the video showing the actual vehicle pulling into the King Road neighborhood, and I realized, well, that's not a black rumbly bumbly truck. That is a black sport utility. And it sure looks similar to the one that's sitting in the King Road parking lot when the authorities arrive. And that's odd. And then I began to really decipher the video, as you know. So I took the DoorDash who I knew was coming down between King and Queen, turning left onto Queen, and I could see its headlights in those windows as it came down and made the turn and then headed out of the neighborhood. I studied suspect vehicle because I knew it did the same thing. I studied every vehicle that came in and out of that neighborhood. And y'all know that I came to some determinations about what could be determined based on the video from the porch of the 1112 King Road house right here and its camera that goes out this way and encompasses all of this. And what I determined was, by looking at this window in this house, you can literally see when a vehicle is driving up, what happens to it. Does it turn in here? Does it keep going straight? Or does it turn in between King and Queen? And what I determined was there is a line, an imaginary line in the road right here. If a vehicle comes up and it stays as far to the left as possible, where it doesn't hit this trash can, then it can almost bypass the reflection in this window, almost, but you always see just a glimpse of it in the middle windows, and then you can see it clearly in the upper windows. But if a vehicle gets to the right of this line, once it hits this point right here, especially if it turns in, you can clearly see it in these windows. And I had this as my area of proof if a vehicle turned or if it went straight. Now, if a vehicle continues straight and doesn't turn in here, there was my other line, which is right here. And this is where you can see if a vehicle continued straight, because you see it in the upper window. There's 3 sets of windows. The bottom one is immaterial, doesn't capture anything. The second set captures everything, and the third set captures everything beyond this point. So if a vehicle does not turn here or pull in here, you'll see its taillights in the window up here. Now, this was the way that I determined this. Once again, I now, looking back, am pretty sharp at this stuff, but it's even better for me as I'm going to show you. Because the black vehicle that pulls in at 429, I hypothesized that it just pulled right in here and it never left. Therefore, the black Ford Explorer is the vehicle that pulls in at 429 and it never leaves. And you see it there the next morning. So once again, pay close attention. Is this black Ford Explorer pulls in at 429 and it drives past 1112 King. We see in these windows up here, nothing. We don't see anything. Nothing. I have now listened to every bit of the footage that has been released for hours upon hours, and I've stared at these windows, and that vehicle never appears in those windows. And I'm about to prove to you it's impossible for it to not appear in those windows if it goes past King Road. But first, let's stop this one right in its tracks, because this is a vehicle that pulls through at 226. And I've heard content creators try to hypothesize that this was the black Ford Explorer, and maybe it was pulling into the King Road driveway. However, they haven't studied these windows very well, because as you can see up here, it is clearly going up past the Queen Road apartments because we can see its taillights. Sorry, it wasn't that one. Other creators, due to a police report of someone saying that they pulled through at that time and parked in between King and Queen, have contemplated that maybe it was this black sport utility that's, you can't see real well in this photo, but it's right here parked and it looks similar to the Ford Explorer. However, I'm going to prove that it can't be that one. They've also contemplated that it could be this Chevy Tahoe. They used to be Blazers. I always call them Blazers, but it could be this Chevy Tahoe that was parked right here. And I'm also going to prove that it couldn't be that one either. It's 99.9999999% that it's this one. Now, I literally thought that I was going to have to go to Moscow, Idaho, talk to people that live into 1112 into letting me put a Ring camera in their light socket aimed at this house, and then simultaneously put another camera here aimed this way, and then drive a vehicle up and see when the taillights of the vehicle appear in this window. I literally thought that was what I was going to have to do. because I knew that if a vehicle hit right here, you could see it. Except I was wrong to an extent. And I'm so thankful that I was wrong to an extent, because it saves me a trip to Moscow, and it proves even more beyond a shadow of a doubt what I'm saying with that black Ford Explorer. And here's the difference. I thought this was the landing area of turn where you capture the tail lights. I was wrong. This is the landing area right here. Between here and here, if you get to the left of this line and you continue straight, you'll still see a little glimpse of the tail light, but you'll absolutely see it once you get past this line. But if you cross this black line between this area and this area, and you turn right here, it's impossible for you not to be seen in the windows of this house. And that includes pulling out of this driveway. When you come up this road and you pull in this driveway, you will not be seen in these windows right here as far as a reflection. But if you come up this road and you turn in this driveway and then you back up and you pull out, you absolutely will be seen in this window if you cross this plane, and we now have proof. It's 1:55. Here's Eric Gower pulling in with Kaylee and Maddie, driving past 1112. Look at the middle windows. We know he pulled in the driveway. Backs up. And as he pulls out, the proof is in the pudding. There is no way to make it past these windows without your lights appearing in them. If you turn in between King and Queen, that black Ford Explorer never made it past. And there he is pulling out of the driveway. And that is the final proof that I needed right there. Now, all I got to say is, Mr. G.
So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is the end that we need to watch on that video. And it's a good place to pause anyway.
Gotcha.
Using the 156 vehicle where Eric Grower dropped off Kaylee and Maddie really illustrates the point. I mean, that car did not go all the way up to the top of the hill by the 500 Queen Road apartments, where the gradient of the street levels off because it doesn't appear in that third story window.
Right. Excuse me. Right.
And we know what he did. He dropped the girls off. So we know that he turned around in the driveway. There's no disputing that. So now that we have established with facts surrounding the DoorDash driver and the actions and movements of that vehicle, and also the vehicle of Eric Grower, we have put together what you would expect to see depending on how vehicles
absolutely
react in those windows of that house. So, knowing all that, should we now watch Pavarotti's Whitcomb video?
Absolutely. Sure
where he addresses, what Chris Whitcomb is saying.
Yes, my friend, we will. Let me find the right one. One second. This is the one with Birdie, right?
It's the thumbnail says hero or sus to us.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Just making sure. All right. And any timestamp specifically?
Start at 3 minutes.
All right. And we're off. Here we go.
51 days later, it all went to hell. Crime is a crime, and you have to be factual. Right. And the only thing I will say is that I've not offered any opinions, theories, or speculation in the book because I don't think it's my place. I don't think that's it. My place is to present the evidence as a former law enforcement official, to present the evidence and say somebody in a position of authority can do it. It's incumbent upon them to do it. That I've not offered any opinions, theories, or speculation in the book.
If that is the case, then why are you offering specific speculation that would cover for whoever was driving the black Ford Explorer?
If you watch the 112 camera, everybody knows this now, I think, at what is it, guys, help me out, 4:20 and something, the white car goes screaming down the road, right?
Yeah.
4 minutes after that, you hear a very loud engine and you see an SUV following in trace. It goes down approximately 4 minutes later. I think it's 4:24 roughly. But this video is on the internet. I think you all know what I'm talking about. You've all seen it, right? Yeah. Then you go back to the Linda Lane video camera. We know the Linda Lane picked up the white car coming up and driving around, whatever else. If you follow the Linda Lane video past 4:20, you see somebody walk out. They walk around the back, and it's hard to see, but you can definitely tell it's a person, and you can definitely tell they're wearing what appears to be a backpack. They go to the back of this. It's a full-size, boxy SUV that's actually gray, and I say that because I found it during daylight. And they open the tailgate. They put something in the back. They go to the driver's side. When they get in the driver's side, they no longer have what appeared to be a backpack. So it's plausible they were wearing a backpack. They put it in the back. They get in the driver's side. They back out. They drive down, and so you see them leaving Linda Lane, a parking spot in the parking lot, and it goes down by the house. You hear the engine. The only thing that stands out is the engine. It's very loud, and you hear it on the Linda Lane video. You hear it on the 112 video. It goes down. It turns right. Instead of turning left and going up Walenta, as the white car did, it turns right, and it goes up Taylor Road. And we know this because you go back to the dumpster camera video, and at approximately my time hacks are off, but within seconds, you see it crossing the dumpster video going up Taylor Road. You with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you watch the video 3 or 4 minutes longer. That truck turns around and it comes back and it goes back the other direction past the dumpster video. It comes back up and goes into it drives into the view of the 1112 video, and it drives up past out of the field of view of that camera. But the odd thing is the engine is so loud, it stands out to everybody, including witnesses that we'll get to. And then that SUV, you hear the engine, the engine slows down, sounds like it's idling. And then you can hear it accelerating a little bit, like it's backing up or like it's trying to parallel park. Something's happening, and you can hear the exertion of the engine because of the bad exhaust, either custom exhaust or broken exhaust. I don't know. And then it stops. It doesn't drive away. It stops, meaning outside the field of view, which means proximity to 1122, right? Then you hear what I interpret. We'll put you guys, you're the experts. We'll put you on it. But you hear what, once the engine stops, you hear what sounds like a door slamming or, a door closing. And many people already know about this. Many people have already discovered this video. What I have not seen yet is that if you watch the entire video from Linda Lane, that vehicle returns to its original parking spot at 6:30, 2 hours later, and a person gets out the driver's side without a backpack and walks back down in front of that building toward 1122. And I don't mean to suggest that it, necessarily was going there, but that building, and forgive me guys, are those is that the Whites? What's that apartment building between 1122 and the Linda Lane camera? What's that building?
Queen Road.
Queen Road apartments, right?
Yes,
There's no door on that side. So whoever walked out of the SUV and went down that way was not going to that building, right? So trying to explain why somebody would get up at 4:20 in the morning, walk out to that SUV, get in the SUV, drive away, be gone for 3.5 minutes, turn around and come back and park in direct proximity to the house, and then get up 2 hours later and get back in the SUV and drive it back to its original parking spot is certainly perplexing.
At exactly 4:23 a.m., we see a man walking from either the middle or the end of the Queen Road Apartments to a sport utility parked in the Queen Road Apartments, get in it, back up, and pull out of the King Road neighborhood. You see it on 1112 as they pull out. They turn on to Taylor Avenue. And then we see and hear this vehicle clearly again as it passes 1320 Linda Lane right here and continues on to Taylor towards Louder. Then at about 4:27, we see a completely different vehicle coming down Blake with a very unique sound signature, completely different from the vehicle that just pulled out. We see it on the 1320 Linda Lane camera, and we hear it on that camera. It turns onto Taylor, and it makes its way into the King Road neighborhood, where we see and hear it on the 1112 camera. And then we look in the third window of 1119, and we see that it parks at the King Road residence, and that vehicle never leaves from that spot until 911 is called, and a long time after. It is the black Ford Explorer. However, it doesn't end there. At about 6:34, yet another sport utility pulls into the King Road neighborhood. We see it on 1112. We hear it. It continues on past the Queen Road Apartments and just happens to park in that same spot the vehicle that left the night before left from. Totally different vehicle. This time, a young lady gets out of the vehicle, walks to the front of the Queen Road Apartments, not from the middle or the back like the guy did the night before, goes to her apartment, goes in her apartment, and then she is later interviewed by law enforcement at her apartment. Those are the facts. The video evidence will back it up, and the sound signatures will prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
there is the RAV4 that I was just typing in chat. That, in my opinion, is the girl that was coming home to check on her cat, supposedly that they interviewed in her RAV4. That's the vehicle I was talking about with the girl that was interviewed. Just so nobody's confused. Not at all, Sydney.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm Jason with Moscow Police. I'm sure you've noticed all the hustle and bustle down the way here.
Yeah, a little bit. What's up?
Sure. Just trying to kind of talk to some of the folks around the area, see if we can establish anything that seemed out of the ordinary. Were you here all night?
No, I actually work overnight. So
Oh, you do? Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Do you recall what time you got home?
I got home at 6:30.
6:30. Were you here all night?
No, I actually work overnight.
Do you recall what time you got home?
I got home at 6:30.
6:30. Were you here all night?
No, I actually work overnight.
Do you recall what time you got home?
I got home at 6:30.
6:30.
So once again, in real time,
You see somebody walk out. They walk around the back, and it's hard to see, but you can definitely tell it's a person, and you can definitely tell they're wearing what appears to be a backpack. They go to the back of this. It's a full-size, boxy SUV.
an assailant walks from either in between or to the north side or south side of those Queen Road apartments, gets in a vehicle at 424, and we see him pulling out with a very distinct sound signature, none.
You hear the engine. The only thing that stands out is the engine. It's very loud, and you hear it on the Lindeland video. You hear it on the 112 video. It goes down, it turns right.
It then drives past 1112, still no loud pipes.
This is where I've been having issues with this, and we'll talk about it as we go forward.
It then pulls out onto Taylor, heading towards Louder. We're going to see it passing 1320 Linda Lane and then continue straight down Taylor towards Louder.
For 3 or 4 minutes longer, that truck turns around and it comes back and it goes back the other direction past the dumpster video.
Then at 428, we're going to see a completely different sport utility coming from a different direction down Blake Avenue. And it's going to turn on to Taylor. We're going to see it happen, but more importantly, we're going to clearly hear it happen. And we know with that sound signature, it's not the same vehicle that pulled out. It continues on, pulls into the King Road neighborhood. Same specific sound signature, very clear, pulls back 1112, pulls into the King Road driveway as we see in the windows on that house at 1119. It never leaves.
And then it stops. It doesn't drive away. It stops, meaning outside the field of view, which means proximity to 1122. I'm kind of a fan.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. My apologies. Back to where I was. My apologies. Damn it, I was trying to do something. I think we're right here. Nope, I went back too far. My apologies, you guys. Sorry about that.
It then pulls out onto Taylor, heading to...
Why does it keep doing that?
That's all right, Dago. Let's just take this moment to pause.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't know why it keeps doing
that. I think we got enough to work with. I think we understand, and he's showed us, the difference in the sound of those two vehicles.
Yeah, of course.
And he showed us that they're going in on a different road. The one is leaving on Taylor and never turns. Yeah. And then the other one is coming up.
Did you gather what my one issue with this is the most? The biggest issue I have.
Yeah.
And that is, I think it's 424 when the loud vehicle backs out and leaves down Queen heading towards, or down King heading towards Queen. You know what I mean? Down here and turning right. We do not see it come past here. That's the problem that I have had with this the whole time. We don't see that loud vehicle at 424 leave and drive all the way through this and turn right and go anywhere. That's what I'm struggling with so badly.
Okay, maybe I don't know what you're saying. Did Pav show the
vehicle?
Talked about
he did, but he didn't at the same time. This is where I'm stuck. Okay, so we see I believe that it's a Jeep. I think other people are saying it's something else anyway, but it's loud. It's got the super turbo exhaust, all that stuff. Okay. Now this is what I'm thinking. Was there manipulation done to a video? Okay. This thing, he showed the video and we're supposed to see At 424, it leaves from the back parking lot behind the Queen Apartments, and it heads down this road right here. Okay. But we never see, or we don't hear, for the matter of that, it come by here and turn right. We don't hear it leave, but we see it come back at 429. That's where I'm getting like,
wait,
so confused. You see what I mean by that?
Well, you said a couple things there. The last portion of what you said is we see it come back.
Or we see it come this way.
At 429.
We're about to see it turn the corner and head up past 1122 or stop at 11, whatever it does. Okay.
Yeah. And those are two different things. The one thing that you're confused about is you want to see it leaving, right?
Which I imagine if it went that direction, unless it did, which makes no sense to me, unless it came down Queen Road and made a left to go right back around the building again, we should see it coming down past the 1112 camera. And we don't see that at 425, whatever it would be. It would only take about a minute for it to get down there. So
I thought he did show it. Unless I'm really misunderstanding you. I thought we just watched that.
It doesn't. Well, no. Here, let me go backwards a little bit then. This is where my issue lies. Let me see. Excuse me. We saw the girl with the RAV4. We all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me get to the Linda Lane, 1330 Linda Lane footage right here. Okay. Now I'm going to play this to here. I may just be mistaking something. That's probably what it is. So don't take me the wrong way, anybody, please. Hold on. All right. Now, they started the vehicle. This is where I think Chris is claiming somebody comes out with a backpack on, pops the hatch, throws it in, gets in the car, and leaves. I don't believe the backpack part of that because I don't see the hatch open. And whatever, that has no bearing on this. So now we're watching this loud, exhausted vehicle leave.
Wait. If I may right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have to weigh in. Is it loud?
I agree. Very much so.
Well, okay. So it's not rumbly. I mean, does it make a noise? Yes. Is it a distinguishable noise? Yes. Is it rumbly like that vehicle that comes up Blake at 428? No, it's not rumbly like that. That vehicle coming up Blake is like, to me, that would be like a naturally aspirated engine that has its exhaust altered. Maybe they cut off the stock mufflers and replaced it with something louder, whatever. But this one that you're calling loud, that we're about to look at right now in this video, that to me, is a turbo engine because it has a whistle. The difference between a naturally aspirated engine and a turbo engine is the difference there. So you're hearing two different sounds and you're mashing them up into one vehicle. Follow me?
That's where I have. Yeah, I do. So you're saying that these are two separate vehicles. That's where I disagree, I think, right there, and probably only there.
Well, let's all just, I guess, hear it for ourselves and make our own decision. But let's listen to the difference using this,
Absolutely.
video.
Absolutely. Make sure this is big enough too. All right, 1 minute.
Will prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
You want to pause and talk about it?
See, this is why I've always thought this was the same vehicle. And the reason why, and I do hear a whistle, I hear it. It doesn't sound what I would think is a diesel personally, but I'm not arguing that it isn't. I'm not saying it's not a diesel. I expect it to sound more like I'm used to like the fire engine sound. It has more of a rocker noise to it, but that doesn't mean that I'm right, you guys. Don't just ignore what I'm saying with that, okay? So
it's
that's
a
what I'm
quick
saying.
internet search. Do turbocharged engines whistle? I mean, anyone can do it.
Diesels do, yeah, for sure.
What? No, not just diesels. Any engine with a turbo whistles.
Okay.
Don't take my word. No one trusts me. I'm a liar. Go on the internet and ask. Do your own research on that.
I hope you're not saying that because you think anybody's calling you a liar, because you know I'm not by any means.
That's
no.
My point being is, don't just take my word for it. It's
no. I believe you. I fully agree and believe
anyone can find out this information.
Yeah, you
it's
can
not
look it
just
up
based on what you and I are discussing up here.
So this has been where I've had my problems with this the whole time. Then that the thought of this being two separate vehicles never has processed for me. I'm not saying now that I'm thinking about it. I've always thought this was the same vehicle. So there in turn is why I've been confused. But at the same time, maybe it's just because of the startup on that. And maybe that's why it's not as loud when it leaves, but I would still think it would sound a little bit more whistly coming down through here. That I didn't hear, but okay. I'm in the box now. I can see what you guys are seeing.
Well, let's press forward. Let's listen to it go by the 1112 camera, and then let's listen to the vehicle at 428 or 9, whatever it is, coming towards us.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is where I expect to hear a little bit more noise. Okay, based on what we just saw as they started it, it just sounds heavier, and I guess we could call it diesel, turbocharged, whatever you want. It doesn't seem to have that sound nor that feeling right here to me. Okay, now we'll say that, and then we're going to listen to the 429 as it pops up here, which is probably why I got it confused. In effect, Eddie, I don't know. That vehicle doesn't seem to look like that other one either. That just left in the back. It's a little bit smaller, I think.
And I reviewed,
you know what I mean?
Prior to coming up here today, I reviewed what you and Kim broke this all down.
Right.
Last week, towards the end of last week, and I watched that and I tried to grok it, take it all in, and understand. And right about now, you guys are talking about how the size of that vehicle appears different at this right-hand turn here at King and Queen at the bottom of the hill. It looks much smaller than what backed out there when we were looking at the 1330 Linda Lane camera. I'm with you.
The size there that's definitely a thing for me, and the sound. I just feel like there should be more of a heavier sound to it as it comes coming down this road too. And that again, that could just be my misunderstanding, but yeah. Anyway, on we go.
Before on we go.
Oh wait, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. You know what would tell the tale though? So how do you properly refer to this camera that's coming up? The one that is on Linda Lane, but it points down towards Blake, and we watched Taylor, the cross street of Linda Lane and Taylor there. How do you refer to that camera?
What's
that called? Just the other 13.
The one that points dead on to Taylor.
Yes.
Where you see, I think we call it dumpster cam.
Okay, dumpster cam. So on dumpster cam, we'll tell the tale because this vehicle with what we suspect being a turbo engine driving by that camera, the sound, versus the one coming up Blake, passing that camera, going towards the 1122 King Roadhouse. The sound difference there is
and that's another thing I want. Yeah, that's another thing I want to compare as well. The one going that way on Taylor and the one coming back on Taylor to see the difference in sound for sure. Definite good point, sir. Definite good point. Welcome, Noel. Okay. Now, there is a slight vibration in the background, something heavy, slight, very slight. You know what I mean? Hold on. I don't know if you guys are catching it or not. Let me try that again. But it's not what I would expect. Okay. I'll just say that. And it could be the camera too. I'm not 100% sure because I don't know how these things work sound wise. But anyway, that's what that one sounds like. Leaving, the one that we just watched turn right and leaving. So you guys know.
Yeah. And then real quick,
go ahead.
Everyone can notice using the headlights, it just continues down Taylor.
Yeah, you can see the lights flashing on down through there a little bit. Absolutely. Over here. Now, for those that didn't see it, up here in the top of these trees, just now, headlights are coming, I can't tell the directional on this, but coming this way towards us, I'll say, coming up this way. And they were just right there if you didn't see that. Now, already, there's a way, way different sound we got and a heavier feeling, whatever you want to call it, for sure. What you guys are hearing in the background, I believe, is her radio. I think she's got the boom, boom, boom stuff going on with her vehicle, with her radio. It's not the engine. It's music.
I agree. You can almost hear the radio.
Yeah. You can hear like a bass.
Yeah.
The bass hitting and the music playing along with it, just so nobody gets confused on that. This is the girl in the RAV4 that they interviewed just on the stoop there. Yeah, way too quiet, SRB. Right there. That's basically what she just drove in. Same thing that Jenna McClure owns. Okay, the RAV4. Blue, I think Jenna's is blue too. Like a blue RAV4. That's the same vehicle we just watched pull up the hill into that parking spot, and that girl got out of the vehicle. Just so you guys know what we're talking about. Well, that was an Explorer. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm sorry. I just want to check something to make sure I'm not crazy. Okay, so that Explorer's there. There's the Chapin Explorer there. There's another one up here too, though. I never saw before. Right there. No, that's a Chevy. I'm sorry. Looked like, is it a Traverse maybe? Okay, my apologies, you guys. I just had to clarify something to make sure I wasn't crazy. I thought they were running up the hill. Got this.
Establish, were you here all night?
They walk around the back, and it's hard.
So we saw that already. That was my fault because I made that mistake. Anyway, I think we left off roughly right around here. Okay.
Loud, and you hear it on the Lindaland video. You hear it on the 112 video. It goes down. It turns right.
Okay. You know what? I think I'm comfortable now with stating that that vehicle we see right there backing out and the one we see coming towards us at 429 are two different vehicles. I think you're correct. That is a completely different sound. This has the cleaner, I guess, turbocharged sound, whether it's diesel, non-diesel, whatever it is. Then the other one is a, thank you, Noel. The other one is either I'm gonna give it two things. The one at 429 is either the exhaust is completely ripped off from my knowledge of vehicles and working on cars and stuff. It sounds like it may be ripped off all the way even up above the the catalytic converter, because it's so loud. Okay, it's so deep and so loud. And it's not a clean sound like this is. So I can get this. It's two different vehicles now. That was where my problem was, Eddie, and what I struggled with through this whole thing.
I'm going to also go on a limb and say what affected that is whenever someone tells you what you're seeing. So
yeah,
if I were to have said, look, see, watch the vehicle at 424 leave. Now it turns around and now watch it come back. See, what I've done is unfair. I can't tell you what you're seeing.
Of course.
When it's out of frame. Okay. And if I do, stop me and correct me. Don't allow anyone, me,
right,
Dago, anyone to do that to you.
Absolutely. Please make your own, do your own research, make your own choices and your own decisions on this, because now that I'm hearing this and what I'm telling you guys, like I said, I do have experience with vehicles. This vehicle is a cleaner, and what I mean by cleaner, it's put together. So we'll go with a diesel, turbocharged diesel. Some people are thinking it's diesel. It doesn't give me the diesel feel, but that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not. But it's not broken. That's what I'm trying to point out to you. Now that I'm listening to these two separately at the same time, if that makes any sense to you. The other one sounds literally like, and it very well could be the Ford Explorer now, because if you rip the exhaust off of this thing above the cat, there's nothing. This is open pipe. And it should be illegal, but, it's a college campus, so who knows? But it sounds like it was ripped off at the catalytic converter, possibly. The whole damn exhaust. That would make this super loud, okay? And it doesn't sound so clean, if that makes sense to you guys. That I could accept being the Explorer at that point, because if something happened, they hit a bump, bad pothole, whatever, it just rots out or something, and the whole thing got ripped off. That's kind of what that reminds me of. And I'm okay with this. I told you guys. I don't know why I wasn't gathering that this was two different vehicles before. I thought they were the same vehicle the whole time. And that's why I was confused and I was so brain scrambled with that one. So my apologies, folks.
I don't want to harp, but
You're good, dude.
I just have
That's why
to
we're doing this today.
reiterate. If I did that, I would expect someone to correct me and not allow me to get away with that. Like tell you what you're seeing when you can't experience it for yourself.
Maybe that's something that happened. Maybe somebody's cut the converter off this. That's a thing.
Show me, don't tell me, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If I show it to you, then you can determine for yourself what it is that you're seeing.
And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this because
he overlooked the part where the one went down Taylor and the other one's coming up Blake. I mean, he didn't even, throw that in as, like a cautionary, like, you, in other words, like in parentheses, you got to put it together that it's the same vehicle. He just comes straight out and is like manipulative. And on top of it, what almost proves my point is when he's trying to connect this young lady's 6:30 a.m. vehicle as the same one with the rest of them.
That's definitely a no-no. We know that for sure. Okay. Definitely. And it wasn't even before Chris popped up with this, Eddie, I was struggling with this. I didn't understand it. So completely different picture in my mind now. So I appreciate you doing this. I really do. If you can hear me, okay.
I like to say the same thing Sergeant Friday said oftentimes, just the facts.
Yeah. Yes. Just the facts. Show your face, not your waist. Yeah. There you go, Lucy. And yeah. So thank you, sir, for, I don't know how or why it didn't affect me before, but I'm grateful because that's what I want. I want factual understanding of this, guys. And I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But like I said, even before Chris made his statement on this, I had a whole different theory on this. I thought this was the same damn vehicle. So this is why I love you, brother, because you are able to show me things at times that my mind just doesn't see on its own. So thank you again. Moving forward on the video so we can get through the rest of it.
Well, I think...
Or are we good with this?
Well, I think so. I think we covered it. I forget exactly what's left, but I think we get the gist.
Yeah, it snapped. It flipped. That switch flipped for me because I was, wait a minute. I just didn't see it. Now, I still wonder, like, why the hell are you why are you driving this vehicle around with this exhaust like this? That's another problem. You know what I mean? Like, why did you guys not fix this or something? But it's just, okay. Now, here's my question, though. Let me ask this question. Let's say this was the Ford Explorer that's sitting in the parking lot at 1122. Based on the timeline we were given, that car parked there at 9:30 and never left again after that. That came from Eric Gower and, of course, other options. Where did this vehicle go? And when did it leave the parking lot? And why is it just now coming back? Those are my questions for this now, if it's the Ford Explorer. And I don't mean to like take you guys all over the place, but that's what my issue is. The timeline thinks that I think they dropped everybody off from the Hunga Dunga thing back at the Sigma Chi, came back to the house, dropped it off, and then he went back to the party at Sigma Chi. That was Ethan. When did this leave again? Where did it go? And why? And why is it coming back at 429? That's my next set of questions now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, these videos that we have available to us, I think they start at 00:55. So in other words, 5 minutes before 1 a.m. on November 13th, 2022. And it goes to like 5:22 p.m. on November 17th, 22. In other words, we don't have anything before,
right?
Say 1 a.m. ish on November 13th.
Yeah, I'd like to see this thing leave on a video of sorts after 9:30 p.m. and see it come back. Well, we see it come back at 429. I'd like to see it leave and see which direction it goes and all that. Well, it's obviously only going to go one direction, but yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. See, the way it was explained in the timeline, Meanie, was that Ethan drops the Explorer off at the 1122 address and then walks because it's in walking distance. He probably figured he was going to be drinking, all that shit. Walks over to the Sigma Chi house for the Jersey party. And then that's where we lose them at that point. We still don't really have a solid timeline for them to come back. Who, in turn, gets into the vehicle after 9:30? Hunter, Maisie, Ethan, and takes it. Where do they take it? And where do they go up to 429 when it comes back again? That's my biggest question at this point. I'm curious. So maybe we'll be able to work on looking into that. Who knows?
Yeah, and sadly, just like the Payne telephone interview, if they took the CPU out of these vehicles and like wash them, erase them, whatever, then at the end of the day, this is just all going to be our theory, right? There'll be no proof. It's gone.
Right.
It's destroyed evidence.
Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately. Now, one thing I do want to show before we leave here, we got time still, is this video again. I don't think Pav has it on here. It doesn't take, if he cuts at one point on this one. 1 minute, if I can find it.
Which one are you going
for? It's the 429-1112. Thank you, Ro. 429-1112 video where the vehicle comes around the corner, the loud one, the really loud one. And I want to show the tail lights as it pulls up, parks, whatever it does, because there's still, I know there's issues that people have with that one as to where it's believed it doesn't go past the 1122 house, but does it pull into the parking lot or does it parallel park somewhere by the dumpster was what, there's a couple different versions of that going around. So that's why I wanted to pull that up to watch the end of that portion of that. If I can find it. Because one of them, I know it's, Jules has them all. I'm sure you've seen those too, Eddie, correct?
Probably, yeah.
I'm pretty positive you have. It's just a quick clip of this. I just have to find the right one because there's so many of the damn things. 7 to 8 a.m. No. 1 minute. I think this is it. Yep, this is the one. I'm just going to show this clip real quick. All right. And we'll have to dismiss Jules commentating on this, but this is exactly what I want to see. Bear with me, you guys.
About any of this. Thank you so much for joining, Talis. I was outside, but in all reality, which is
all right, hang on. Try to ignore the dog barks too.
okay, so here I think the big truck's about to show up.
Now, what I want you guys to pay attention to on this is obviously we know which vehicle this is, okay? I mean, we do, but we don't. We don't know who's in it, stuff like that is what I'm saying. I want you to watch this over here. This house across the street, just as much as like we did with the pop videos and everything else. Watch the lighting, how it affects this house, if it affects this house. And listen, because it sounds to me like it's like pulling in, backing out, pulling back in, or doing something like parallel parking or something. Is what I've gathered from it.
Listen to how it sounds. Is he gonna do it? I don't know. This point it should have already been passed. No, maybe not. No. It's not doing what I thought it was doing. It goes past the house very quickly. It's just so deep you can hear it. It should be. Oh, it stays around for a minute though. See, that's the problem. Okay. Okay, this is about to turn into the new footage. So yes, remember, Dylan is claiming that when she gets down to Bethany's room, somehow she sees the brake lights of a black truck outside. No headlights, just the lights in the back, which is interesting. Welcome, welcome. And it sounds like it is just right there, bro. Welcome, Sarah. We shouldn't be able to still hear it like that, bro.
Because it's still there, right there in that area. It's doing something.
I'm going to back up like 30 seconds. We shouldn't be able to still hear it like that.
It didn't go past the house, in my opinion. This is what the issue is, okay? It pulled in. It either pulled in behind the Jeep at that point again, or it's doing something out in front of the house out on the road, is what it sounds to me like.
Your QR code is on top of the time.
Hang on. Sorry, I'll move that thing again. I don't know why it always ends up there.
The other thing is I want to point out, because one of her subscribers, her comment was highlighted saying it's a truck.
It's not, though.
Right.
It's obvious that it's an
SUV.
Yeah, that's got a closed back end on it. It is not an open bed. No, by no means. I owned a Chevy Silverado 1500. I know what a truck looks like too. I just know that's a closed. You can see it like right. Hold on. 1 minute. As it turns the corner, I'll slow it down for you guys too. As it turns, if I can. God damn it. Thing is not cooperating with me again. As it turns the corner, you can see the back hatch of it, or tailgate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I get it. This isn't derogatory, but some people, so, women, but even guys do it, who aren't all that, read up about their vehicles, can, rather than being like
mistaken it.
It's like a general term rather than a specific. Yeah. So call an SUV a truck is kind of normal for a lot of people, I guess.
Well, I even did that when I owned, before my pickup, I had a Tahoe, kind of like that burgundy one we see in the video, except it was gold. And I called it the truck too. It was an enclosed, but it was just the truck, It's not a truck with a bed, but it's still a truck to me. So
literal. That was the term I was striving
literal.
for. Maybe
Absolutely.
she's not trying to be literal.
Maybe. It's a good point. And G Bean, thank you so much for that towards our goal today. God bless. Very sweet of you. All right, so I'm going to show you. See the back windows? If this was a pick-up truck with a bed, that would not be there. So these are the back windows to the 4 doors, the second set of doors in the back, and then hatch and tailgate rounds down behind that, right there. And that's even clearer. So there you go, guys. For anybody that was misunderstood standing whether that was a pickup truck with like this is what I call a pickup truck right here, with a bed on it that's open, open to the outdoors. This is in a closed vehicle all the way around. And yeah, I can see how that now could possibly be the Explorer. It's weird. But again, I was under the assumption that this was these weren't two different vehicles, and I'm like, I feel stupid almost, you guys. And I'm sure somebody will agree with me, nasty, because there's nasty people out here. But I do. I feel stupid to some extreme how I didn't realize this. I have so much going through my head, but that could be part of the reason why. But I do see it now that it does. They do have two different sounds, and it makes perfect sense now. Like I said, that switch just had to be flipped. That's all.
Listen to how it sounds. Is he gonna do it? Oh no, this point is should have already been passed. No, maybe not. No, it's not doing what I thought it was doing. It goes past the house very quickly. It's just so deep you can hear it. It should be. Oh, it stays around for a minute though. See, that's the problem. Okay. Okay, this is about to turn into the new.
And this dog is going absolutely nuts. So it's got to be close to the house, I would think.
So
like it sounds like whatever dog this is, because I'm not going to call it. A lot of people disagree that it's Murphy. It's a dog, obviously. And it sounds like this dog goes nuts when this truck is doing whatever it's doing there. Go ahead, Eddie. I'm sorry.
So here's the thoughts that I would, I guess, at this point share is if it's not the Chapin's Ford Explorer,
right,
in a park, I don't know what's the running hypothesis by the blue dumpster. Is that? Do I got that right?
Yeah, I think some people think that it kind of parallel parked up there right by that blue dumpster that all the kids were standing by the day after.
Okay, so my thoughts are this. Where does it go? Because we don't see that vehicle anymore.
No, not.
When Officer Nunez arrived. So we have all of the, what's it called? 1112.
Yeah, Jules played him everything up through the whole next day. And we don't see anything leave, I don't think, that matches
Somebody show us, someone do the science and show us it leaving, and then I'll be a believer, right? Is that why this narrative has to be that it's this 630 girl vehicle?
I think people thought that, but that's definitely not who that is. Neither one of those vehicles are the RAV4 that she pulls in at 630 in, period.
Right. So where does it disappear to, right?
And that's where my problem was, right? Because all of a sudden, now I see there's two different vehicles. This didn't go anywhere. This didn't. Yeah. So this makes sense to me now, and I'm grateful for that.
So do you want to, I think it's only like a 8-minute video. It's the one that you put up first. You put it up by mistake. It's the
948, the first one you sent.
Debunk the read up more BS. It's showing.
Yeah.
We can show everyone why we believe it's a RAV4.
Oh, yeah. That definitely.
Rather than just tell people, we can show people why it likely is a RAV4.
Absolutely. Give me 1 minute. That I know is this one right here. A lot of people are like, why didn't she park right in front of her house? Well, she didn't have to. She got the parking lot in the back area. I think these other spots up front here were for like when you have a guest or if you have two vehicles. That's kind of what I've always gathered with these extra spots right here. So.
Yeah, if we had, if the 1112 security door cam footage was, if we had any footage before like 1 a.m. ish on the 13th, in other words, the evening before, it'd be nice to see Enon Harshley. It'd be nice to see this cat lady that works at 10 p.m. It'd be nice to, watch all these vehicles go too.
Yeah. Yes. And another thing too, folks, remember, we see how many apartments there are within this facility here, right? I also think that if people take up these spaces, that'd be another reason she'd park in the back as well. Just saying. Another thought. But should I start this at the beginning, Eddie, or any specific spot?
Good question. Let me look.
No problem.
I don't have any timestamps on that one.
No problem.
So I think just start at the beginning.
Yeah, we'll catch it. And then Tomboy threw something up here in the chat, said if you go to the 1320 Linda Lane footage and start at 422, you can hear that vehicle. And then she said to use Connor. So we can do that after this because I still have some time. You can use Connor's video for that. So I'll pull that after this just to see what she's showing. All right, here we go.
Hello, welcome to The Revealing. I'm your host, Pavarotti, here to discuss the Idaho 4 case. And you know, nothing's more frustrating to me than somebody with 100,000 subscribers putting out the biggest bunch of ridiculousness clickbait from a random email instead of actually reading reports and studying the case.
That's a question I've asked 1,000,001 times, Lucy, and I like that you asked that. Why did law enforcement not get any footage from the 1112 prior to the night of the crime? If they did, why have we not seen any of that? That's a very important question as well, I think. So thank you for making that point.
I think I have the answer.
Yes, sir.
That could be found in a Pavarotti video called, and it's dated July 30th, 2025. So back, close to a year ago. It's titled The Shocking Saga of the 1112 King Road Camera. The chain of custody issues. It discusses like it's missing a 15-minute portion of the videos, and it also has excess minutes of film.
Right.
Interestingly enough. So I think it explains it in there why it begins at 0055, because some was written over because they kept it at the house. I don't want to.
No, I got you.
Spoiler. Tell the story of that video, but the chain of custody issues. How it stayed at the house and
right.
Collect it immediately and so on and so forth.
Sure. Thank you, G Bean, real quick for that. I appreciate the sentiment and the super chat. Thank you. And yeah, Eddie, that would make some sense, and we can look at that as well. I wrote that down. What's up, Buddy Bear? Good to see you today, sir.
No, we don't need to go and look at that one today, but for anyone's reference, if anyone is interested in, because you and Kim addressed it briefly,
right?
Last week when you're going over all this stuff too, you talked about the snafu with the chain of custody issues.
Yeah, definitely.
How problematic the 1112 footage
it has been. Yeah, it's been a lot of problem, and I think showing previous footage previous to the crime, it is kind of interesting. It would show what went on the week before, per se, who was there, who wasn't there, so on and so forth. And that's what I think is the reason why we don't see it, because they don't want us to see things that happened the 10th, the 11th, the 9th, things like that in that footage. That's my opinion, but it does make sense. So, but if you're curious, go check out that video Eddie referenced, see if it gives you some answers. I think that may help you a little bit. All right, onward and forward.
So now we have to listen to this new stupid theory that's going to go around, and I'm going to go ahead and just stop it in its tracks. And it's very irresponsible, in my opinion, for somebody with that much clout to read some random psycho's description of events and consider them to even be close to reality. So it's real simple. If you debunk one stupid thing in there that the person said happened, then everything they said is ridiculous stupidness. And I'll go ahead and do that for you in this video, because unless you really look at stuff, you'll never know the truth. And I'm here for the truth, and let's focus on what's important and not ridiculousness. So we're going to focus in on this car that leaves at 424. The car that leaves at 424 and the car that comes back at 630, more importantly. And I'm going to show you they're two different vehicles. First of all, here's the one that leaves at 424. Now, before we ever got this video footage of this vehicle, a lot of assumptions were made at the vehicle pulling out on Linda Lane. Now, certain things we can now deduct from that vehicle. Number one, as you just heard, there is zero sound of a diesel engine. So we can debunk that it's a diesel. You can see the vehicle right here. And as it passes the rail right here, you can see the rear brake light that's high up in the rear of this vehicle, shining brightly right here. And you can see that this is actually certainly not a truck with a camper shell. It is a small to mid-size sport utility vehicle. Here it is again, just a few frames further. Once again, this brake light is engaged right here, and I'll prove it's a brake light here in just a second. Don't worry. But that's the brake light at the top of the rear of this vehicle. And you can see in this clip, it is certainly smaller in size than one would expect watching the 1330 Linda Lane as it pulls out. Okay, so right here, as the vehicle pulls up, the brake light is engaged as it comes to the turn. And then you'll see right here, he takes his foot off the brake, or she takes her foot off the brake, whatever. Right, bam, there, right before they start to hit the gas to
I still think that's a Jeep.
make the right. See how the brake light up top goes out? Now it's just the rear two tail lights. Watch again. Brake light engaged as it goes to make the turn, takes the foot off the brake light's no longer engaged, and it makes the turn. And you can see how much smaller this vehicle is right there than everybody thought forever. It's a very, very small sport utility. And then it continues on, and then we'll get a really good view of it here in a second.
So weird to me. So odd.
Now, to give you an actual view of what the rear of this vehicle looked like, you can see I was able to catch it right here before it went off screen. And it gives us a clear view of the tail lights and the top of the vehicle. And it actually puts us a lot closer to determining what kind of vehicle that is. I won't go into that for now, but I just want everybody to understand that that's not a truck with a camper shell, number one. Doesn't have a diesel engine like we always thought, because we would have heard it in this video footage. It is actually a small sport utility, and you can see it has curved in tail lights in the back. Unlike this vehicle that you see returning back at 6:30, this is actually a longer sport utility vehicle, and it is parking in that exact same spot coincidentally, but we know this is not the same vehicle that pulls out at 424. This young lady actually worked all night and got home at 6:30. Now she's going to get out of her sport utility vehicle, and I'm going to show you exactly where this young lady goes, because I know exactly who this young lady is. And anybody that says it's Dylan Mortensen is either brainwashed, clickbaited, or they just haven't looked into things very much. I don't know. But when I hear somebody tell some long BS story about the atrocity and who did it and what happened, and they say that this is Dylan Mortensen in that story, then I know everything that they read in that story was just a lie and probably should have been vetted out before they read it. Let's see here. Here she is getting out. This is not Dylan Mortensen. She gets out of the vehicle, and I want you to look at where she walks to. Yep, everybody, she's carrying Murphy. Nah, she's not carrying Murphy. If she is carrying a dog, she's carrying her dog. And see where she's walking to, right in front of those Queen Road apartments. While she's walking towards the King Road, right in front of those Queen Road apartments. If she is carrying a dog, she's carrying her dog. And see where she's walking to, right in front of those Queen Road apartments. While carrying Murphy. Nah, she's not carrying Murphy. If she is carrying a dog, she's carrying her dog. And see where she's walking to, right in front of those Queen Road apartments. Wow, she's walking towards the King Road residence, y'all. Now, what she actually did was walk right down through there to her apartment, which was right here in this area. And we know that for a fact because when you watch the body cam of the officers who canvassed this side of the Queen Road apartment, she comes out and talks to them. Tells her, yeah, she got home at 6:30 and doesn't go into a lot of detail in that conversation about her being the vehicle that pulls in at 6:30, but they revisit with her and get her statement later. But she absolutely walks out, tells them she got home at 6:30 and she lives in these apartments. And law enforcement was sure hoping that they could
Can you guys hear me? Okay, you guys can hear me. And Dago's gone. He fell out. Okay. Let me see if I can reach him in the back chat. Give me a minute. Remember this happened the last time? Okay, guys, do you remember the last time this happened? I was up and I think Mama Bear had to log in and shut his stream down. Do you guys remember that? It's my show now. Okay. So you guys can hear me, and Dago, I think, is gone for good. So I don't know what we should do, guys. I can't, other than talk, I can't show you any videos. What we were about to see here, getting into this video, was we were right at the point where this young lady's statement, I think she gave it on December 2nd when she was interviewed. In the paperwork that said about that statement that she gave, you can make out what is redacted. You can make out based on the character length of RAV4. Toyota RAV4 is like 3 different words, and they're all different lengths. So it's pretty clear that it's a RAV4 based on just deduction, just using common sense. Because how many other vehicles, like if it was a Toyota 4Runner or Highlander, for example, well, the redaction would be a much broader stroke of the black marker, if you will. So there's that. So we're not just speculating on the RAV4 make and model. It's kind of proven, especially if you look at the the shape of the vehicle, in my opinion, it's the first generation of RAV4 because it's got in the back of the vehicle, it's got like above the wheel arches, it kind of encroaches up into the window glass. It kind of bulges up, if you will, way back there. So I think the last furthest back window is like smaller. It doesn't come all the way down to the same level as like the front door glass and the rear portion of the cab. The second, the back seat, if you will, the door glass of the rear doors. Okay, what else about that? I just wanted to point out something else about that video. Notice how when Dago, you're back. Good to see you.
About that, you guys. I don't know what happened. I had to.
Can you hear me, Dago?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you guys hear Dago?
Can you not?
I think what I have to do now is jump out.
Can everybody hear me? You can hear me? Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I've been having that problem lately, here and there with Spectrum. Things just going wacky here or there. So, oh, God. Anyway, sorry guys about that. Hopefully Eddie will hit that. Here, there he is. All right. Can you hear me good?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm so sorry that happened. I don't know why it happened. It's been happening a little bit here and there with this new internet service. But anyway, I played around with some things, got it back, and here we are.
I held my own.
I appreciate that, sir. I'm so sorry. I do appreciate you keeping them moving. All right. Can you hear me still?
Yeah. I got to say, that's not easy to do because it's a unusual experience to talk to 300 people, but you're just talking to yourself, really.
It's rough. I promise you that much. That's why I enjoy having people up here with me.
I see. Yes, makes sense.
It does. So this is where we left off with this video. I pulled it back up. I froze it. Luckily, I was smart enough to pause it, and on we go.
Vehicle returning at 6:30 is hers. Says she works overnights, and at that night she worked from 10 to 6. And she said she worked the night of November 12th and would have returned home the morning of November 13th between 6:30 and 7, like you see on the video. She said it was possible she parked in the lot east of the Queen Road apartments that morning, but she usually parked in front of her apartment. She said it was possible she came home during her work shift to check on her cats, but could not recall.
Thank you, Miss Krista, for being here, and thank you for that gifted membership. I can't tell who got it, but whoever did, congrats. Welcome to the sauce, and thank you, Krista, again. I appreciate you very much.
Daigle, real quick before we press on, were you able to hear me at all while you were gone?
No, I couldn't. It was all spinning, buffering, all that. So I'm sorry I didn't get to hear you.
I was covering all of this. Let's look at this document real quick.
Yes.
And we'll show why we think it's a RAV4.
So do you want me to pull the actual document itself?
Unless you can do it using what's on your screen. It's up to you.
Is this the full document right here that's already up here?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, I can see it. And it says on December 2nd of 22, Detective Barrett and I met with blah, 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 who lived in blank, Moscow, Idaho. Blank was registered owner of a blank, blank, bearing Idaho license plate blank, 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 parked in front of apartment blank. Surveillance video footage on November 13th, retrieved from redacted, captured an SUV type vehicle resembling a. Okay, wait, now here's Toyota? How you can explain this. Toyota RAV4. The blocks kind of give you the option to understand its smaller words, so that's perfect. So that would be Toyota RAV and then number 4. That's perfect fitting. So, leaving the parking lot east of blah, 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 around 4:24 a.m. and an SUV type vehicle resembling a
Now they're just abbreviating it. They're leaving the make off, but they just say the model. So
yeah,
RAV4.
Returned to the parking lot. Actually, no, because look, Toyota RAV4. It still fits, I think.
Okay, yeah, you're right. They still
Yeah,
go with
returned exactly. Returned to the parking lot around 6:30 a.m. Blank identified the blank as hers.
Okay, there they did it. They just omitted the make on that one.
No Toyota on that one. Blank said she worked overnights at something at 10 from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Blank said she worked the night of November 12th and would have returned home the morning of November 13th between 6:30 and 7 a.m. as we saw in the Luna Lane footage. Blank said it was possible that she parked in the lot east of probably Queen Road.
Okay, let's pause right there.
Yes.
For a couple of reasons. Number one, we explained and showed why we think it's a RAV4.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was about to cover is I was discussing with chat about this video. And this is a problem for me because we noticed in the body cam, and the body cam is like foremost in someone's mind, right? I mean, that the officer was asking her about events that took place just a couple hours ago.
Right.
Were you here all night? He asked her.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't mention anything about, she said, no, I was at work, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing, but you get
but you're right though. Yeah.
Yeah. Notice if she had come home and was at work and then came back home and then had to leave again, number one, we'd probably see her car doing that in the footage. But more importantly, she would have said it. She's got an officer that wants to know about anything unusual happening during that time. And she didn't say anything about that at that moment. Now look at this interview that took place on December 2nd. And suddenly it's very I guess familiar when we're talking about that black mask and how suddenly we all recall how because of a later interview and now suddenly Dylan is talking about a black mask. Everybody know what I'm talking about?
I know what you mean.
It feels like that. It feels like, we can't see her being interviewed here. So we're just reading what they're saying happened. To me, it feels like, suddenly she may have come home.
Yep.
And now suddenly, we know where she parked. We watched her park. Now suddenly she thinks it's possible she parked in that east lot. Well, she did. Mm-hmm. That is the east lot if you're looking at a map and it's oriented correctly. Yeah. So I'm going with the first earliest thing, right? Not the later thing. This
Absolutely.
One, it feels like I'm being manipulated, like we're trying to make it look like something that it isn't, I guess, to explain it.
That would make sense, sir. It absolutely would. Leah, happy day anniversary, dear. Thank you so much for being part of our family here. 15 months plus, I'm sure. We appreciate you. I'm grateful that you're part of the Blue Crew as well. But thank you for being here, dear. And then again, from pretty much at 4 a.m., just dropped 5 memberships real fast. Let me see. And it looks like Missy Doll, Kisme 3, Angie Hensley, Kentucky Love, Good Vibe Stacy, and Ditto 55. Welcome to the sauce. And very much appreciated pretty much at 4 a.m. God bless. Very generous of you. Thank you so much. All right. You guys are awesome. And did I miss anything up here? Pretty much became a new member as well. So congrats. 6 new members jumping in the sauce. I think we have 8 maybe today. But anyway, thank you guys so very much and God bless. Appreciate you so much. Okay. Did you want me to go ahead and go forward, Ed? Or
yeah, let's go forward.
All right.
Well, we know that wasn't her at the 424 vehicle coming home to check on cats, because that one sat there all night until 424. And we know that. And then she knew that 1122 King Road, she thought it was a party house. Recalled seeing two men standing outside, the closest to the front door, around 5 p.m. on November 12th. Described the men on their phones as if they had been turned away from the house. And they entered the audio recording of the interview into evidence at ISP district office in Jerome. But yeah, that's her getting home at 6:30. She tells the officers as they walk around the Queen Road apartments that she got home at 6:30 that morning. And no, it wasn't her pulling out at 424. Two different vehicles. Law enforcement hoped it was the same. Clickbaiters hope it was the same as well and hope it was Dylan Mortensen, but it wasn't. It was this lady. So everything else in that bogus story that you read out of your email was also a bunch of crap. And the only reason that crap came out at that time is because people don't pay attention. You see, I've been telling everybody that the person on the ISP lab reports for DNA buccal swabs is Reed Upmore for 2 months since the reports came out, because I read the entire reports and it tells you in the reports who they are. I didn't know who the rest of them were until the new reports came out. But the fact that email didn't reach somebody until these new reports came out where people could see for their own eyes it was Reed Upmore in the DNA buccal swabs, then they make up an entire story and send it out in emails, and then you read it. Reed Upmore had nothing to do with it. And if you read the reports, you'll see that they cleared him later. You jack of all jacks. Give me a break, man.
I have no idea who he's talking about, but that was funny.
I don't know. I'm not sure either, but it is funny.
Anyway, so I think he proved his point as to how he felt there.
Yeah. And I guess my last takeaway from this video would be a very important one, and he kind of opened with it, is if you can identify, and I'm paraphrasing, I forget how he said it exactly, but I've been saying it for months, years actually. If you can identify one thing that's inconsistent, that's wrong, that's being manipulated, then the whole thing is in question.
Definitely.
That's been my mantra.
Makes perfect sense too, sir. Absolutely makes perfect sense. All right. That takes care of that video.
Sausage biscuits. Enon, good question. I have the answer to that. We have the video, but I don't know if we have enough time to get into it. But
I have enough time. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay. This is a quick one. It's Truth and Transparency's video, Dago.
Is it the one you sent me?
Yes.
1 minute. Yeah, don't worry about the time, bud.
It's like a field trip. So Lana has this video footage, and she's got Enon on the panel, and
right.
And we see the vehicle like driving up the hill, and Enon is talking while it's happening, and they'll show us where he lives.
I believe it's this one here. The interview she did with Bella.
Yes.
And timestamp.
Timestamp is 28 minutes and 30 seconds.
Start there. Right there. Okay. Here we go.
Area. Is this the way you do it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So like this is back here. You see I'm saying?
Where's this? Wait, where's what back there?
Is this like is this how you like drive back to your place, or like
yep.
Okay, so then like where do you normally, if you don't mind me asking, like do you guys have like assigned parking, or?
No, we just kind of park wherever we can. I try to park as close to the stairs as possible.
These ones?
Yeah, the ones before it.
Oh, the ones before it. Here, let's back up a little bit. So here we're coming up the hill. This is like right where you would, like the house is on your right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So the King Road house is on your right.
Or the left, right? Oh, the house is on the right. The apartment's on the left. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So you had the option to go straight, or you make like the right to go up the hill to the back parking. So like, and then it comes around like this, and you're saying right, like those stairs right there, right? Which ones?
Yeah,
Right here,
yeah,
right here.
yeah. I haven't seen my old car in that picture.
You do see it?
Yeah.
No way.
Where's this footage from?
I stole it. No, I'm kidding. No, I got it from a records request. So like, see these cars right here?
Oh, yeah.
So like, where was it parked? Was it like
I'm farther.
farther? Call it out when you see it.
Boom.
Oh, your car. I see your car. Because you had that Ion or whatever.
I just saw that
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. So you go like this, and then so when you're saying the vehicle you're talking about that you saw, tell me when to stop when you saw it parked. When you were
Wait, my vehicle? Yeah, that was mine.
right there on the right, isn't it?
No, that's
Yeah.
his. But
Yeah, that's his vehicle, his old vehicle. So, but I'm saying like that night, where was
Thank you, Sausage, and God bless, dear. Appreciate that very much.
this car parked?
Oh wait, and he was parked.
They keep going, right?
No, he was way before that, so he wasn't
Oh.
actually in the parking lot. Yeah, so
Okay, so like
from the
here's
start, I think he's. So I think this is he'd be on like the right.
like right over
Already?
here.
No, so the street before that. So the street before that on the right is where he was.
So before
very
the video
beginning.
starts.
Yeah.
Wait, but there isn't. Wait. There isn't a.
So that's
This
where I saw the Elantra, that hill right there. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw the Elantra that night.
Okay, pause it, Daigle.
You saw an Elantra on this hill.
Okay.
Yep.
So Enon is trying to communicate that this he calls it a baller vehicle, right?
Yeah.
He's saying it's definitely not a black Ford Explorer. Black Ford Explorers aren't baller
Right.
SUVs. And Lana, of course, trying to understand where did you see it, and he's explaining, but the video doesn't pick up early enough. He's trying to explain that it's
right.
It's prior to this. It's before that turn. So he means somewhere, and at the between, where we see, the bottom of the hill there with that 1112. Yeah, the intersection of King and Queen. He's I think trying to explain somewhere between the bottom of that hill and where you turn right to go between the 1122 King Road house and the 500 Queen Road apartments there, the steep part. But they never get to the answer because of, well, play on, you'll see why.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every once in a while.
Okay.
And I only recognize it because my ex drove an Elantra, so I'd seen an Elantra there, and I was like, that's interesting. But also
let me ask you this: right here at the top of the hill, there is like a. Let me show you something. I know which one you're talking about. It's in a different video. So this is August 27th, 2022. Okay. So are you? So when you would, so it was back by. Okay, now let me ask you this. So this guy goes and he turns. Watch this. Okay, he turns. All right, and then watch this. Okay, it goes right here, and he just like kind of stops. Okay, now check this out. Let me change to this video of Blaker. And now let me just move. Okay, right here. Who is having, like, do you see this apartment over here? Look at those windows.
with the pink lights or with the aluminum foil over.
Yeah. Do you see over here, like the light? Like, look at these strobe lights going on in that house. You see that in that apartment?
Like top floor.
Yeah, like right when you're walking out. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, like, what is that normal over there?
I mean, yeah, semi. Yeah, there's raves / like
People have rapes in these tiny ass little apartments. Are you serious?
And truth be
Good-
told, I didn't play
good
on far
Jesus.
enough to know if they ever got to the. Maybe they do get to the answer. Maybe she, with this
Maybe.
what I'm calling a field trip, maybe they get around to finding, where that
Yeah.
the answer to that question. But
And this is absolutely a fucking field trip. I love this video, mind you guys. I love this. I love Lana when she does this, but this is great. Raves in these tiny little ass apartments. I love it. Okay. I think they might, Eddie, because it goes on. If I remember right, we might get there. Let's see what we got coming. This is funny as hell, though. It's a baby rave. Baby Payne shows up for the baby raves.
People, weird lights, doing weird shit, maybe on weird drugs or not. It's Greek row, yo. There's kids, college kids, doing all sorts of weird shit.
Does does the person here's somebody. Stephanie wants me to say
Stephanie,
thank you for bringing in the dopest chef around. His laugh, smile, and word choices bring me joy. It can turn a bad day into a great day. Respect putting yourself out there. On hugs to your kitty. Good luck with alcohol. Or no, it says school.
good luck with the alcohol in school. I see how you saw that to be alcohol, though.
Yeah. Did you see that AC? I was like, wait.
There's
alcohol?
O's and L's and A's.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, Lana. They are 20-something. Yeah, it's normal. I mean, you guys know what time it is. It is 3:45 in the morning, just so we know what time we're looking at. Yeah, it's normal. I'm like, okay. So then, anyways, this kid calls in.
I felt like this before. Okay. I'm very
And he basically tells on himself. Like, listen.
I guess is my question. Oh, yeah, like, I feel like I've been drugged. I don't know. Like, I've been drunk. Cabby.
What do you think about that, Ina? He's like, I think I've been drugged. Do you know
him?
Do you know him?
No. Is
Here,
that
give
the
me- I'll give
is
you better-
is this the night of the murder or is this
No.
different? Is this just
No, this is not the night of the murders.
Okay, word.
This is on 8/27.
There you go.
2022.
So this is before, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
word.
yes, sir.
I think Lawson Casa has it right. She's saying, I think Lana derailed that idea.
Slightly, a little. Right
yeah,
there.
I think it's like they're already past the SUV. That they're on to different things already.
This
Some
has
of them
got to
faces,
be
like-
one of the most entertaining videos I've ever seen on YouTube.
You know what's interesting though is
Yeah,
he's
they
saying
got
that-
past that point already.
he's saying his vehicle is a Saturn Ion, right?
Yeah.
My question is has the YouTube community figured out, what the timestamp of his returning? He says he's returned between 1:30 and 2.
Right.
Has anyone broke that down and said, "Oh, this must be his"?
Well, honestly and truly, I've always questioned his timing on this. And I wondered if he came home from work possibly, and I'm not demeaning him by saying this. Long night at work, came home, smoked some stuff to relax, and maybe could have messed up his timeline possibly and seeing a black SUV that's all pimped out or whatever. I don't know. He claims up and down it's not the Ford Explorer, but he said it had rims and this and that. I don't really even know how to explain it, guys, because we don't see anything like that anywhere that has an out-of-state license plate for sure that I've seen, unless I'm missing something. So I don't know. But very interesting at the very least.
So I did a little looking. I don't know if it was a thorough, deep dive.
Sure.
With the limited time that I had, but preparing
Right.
for this, I looked at the 1:30 to 2 o'clock ish time frame of the 1112 video, and the only one I got a question mark by is it the 154 car. You know, in other words, 1 a.m. What am I trying to say? 1:54 a.m. car. I have a question mark by it. Is that it? But you can almost tell by the rear window that it's not the Ion. So,
Right.
I don't know. The other question I would have is, so he's saying that's his old car. What does that mean? Like, when did he change cars, right?
Yes, he's had a few different cars that I can remember. My understanding is that a girl he was dating at one time had a white Elantra. He also had another vehicle. He had a Subaru, I think it was. I think I remember seeing him pulled over in what I thought was a Subaru. I could be wrong. So he's had a couple different vehicles, from my understanding.
Okay, so I'm just trying to work it out in my own mind. So this Lana and Bella interview, that body cam or dash cam or whatever it was that we're looking at there, combination of both. That's older stuff, right? That's
yeah.
Okay, so when he says that Ion is old, his previous vehicle, his older car. So
right, yeah.
Maybe that 1:54 a.m. car is his.
And it could be. It very likely could be.
If what he says, we're talking about eyewitness testimony. Everyone has fragility of memory, especially if you're under the influence of anything. Not that I'm saying he was, but
no, I get what you mean.
Especially if you are, that's another variable. So if he's right with the time, then I don't know. I think that might be the only car that could be his.
And that could make perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Do we have any other points or questions tonight? Today. Not tonight. Today.
No, I think we covered it all. Unless anyone in chat has questions. I can't think of any. But it's been fun.
Yes, very. And I thank you again, because here again, you showed me something I didn't see and explained something I didn't understand by showing me what I didn't see. And I appreciate that so very much, because again, I was completely confused and I was struggling with that whole situation. And the reason I was confused is because I kept thinking this was the same vehicle. It makes sense that it's not now. So I'm grateful for that, because again, I'm always looking for facts. Okay. Always looking for facts. So for me, I'm excited because I had a question answered for me today personally. That's wonderful to me. So
it's a great example of how, and it can happen to anyone. If you have a preconceived belief, it can really be like a roadblock to.
And that's the fact that you're saying that. I struggled with this already, and then Chris, comes out and he makes the statements he makes, which made it even worse to me, because then I'm really confused, and I was like, oh shit, I don't know what to take with this, and now I fully see it. So, and I'm grateful again. It was a great show. It really was. I hope everybody got what I got out of it at least, and understood different things out of it. I want to thank Pavarotti for the stuff that he put together that we used. Miss Lana, of course, as always, for which, her stuff that we used. And guys, please make sure you subscribe to these channels. You can learn a lot from both channels. Those are my two favorite creators, as far as, besides, certain things. I think they're the two hardest workers out here, as I've always said. So please make sure to tune in and subscribe to those channels as well. I will be, holy hell, what is today? Monday? Yes.
Yeah.
I will be live tonight with Crimes After Dark with Devil's Advocate. So tune in for that, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to jump into the mod voice chat after this to have a talk with my moderators and thank them for their hard work. Eddie, thank you for everything you do as always, and
Thank
I
you.
may see you later or tomorrow for sure. Hopefully,
I did
hope so. Yeah.
just now have another last parting thought. We didn't cover, but it won't take us long to throw it
okay.
out there. What we didn't cover is how Chris is talking about the 500 Queen Road apartments and how, when the
He
cat
gets
lady,
lost in
as
there.
we call her, parks, and we can tell which way she's walking. Okay, and
Right.
it's very clear if you listen to what he's saying and all that, and his gesturing with his hands, and he's describing, because he's saying that person now that doesn't have a backpack is walking towards the 1122 King Road house.
Right. I think he's confused because he states the side with no doors, and that's
right.
Definitely not that side. So I think he's either turned around in a different position, looking at something, thinking he's looking at something else or something. But I think he's confused personally.
Yeah, he's definitely describing her walking to her front door.
Right.
There's no doubt.
Right.
But I don't know what he's
where he was at in his
where
mind.
does he
Right.
get that those apartments don't have doors on that side? I don't understand that. But
That's
we
what
didn't
I
cover
don't.
that, and I don't know if anyone has enough
At
big
some
enough
point,
balls to try to cover.
well, at
figure out
some
what
point,
he's-
I'm gonna try to figure that out because I clearly don't. I don't think he did that on purpose. That specifically, I believe he was completely and totally confused on. So I'm going to try to figure out where he may have thought he was, that there's no doors, unless it's the apartments that are behind that off to the right, or it would be the left, I think. But either way, I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to ask him when I do have him here at some point, and that'll answer that question for us all. We'll see.
I'm kind of inclined to think, like Brian Todd said, he's leading us to believe that the person walked to 1122.
Well, that's
I think
what it comes to, but I don't know that if he believes that or if he's saying, if maybe he truly believes that. You know what I mean? But I don't know that that's the answer yet.
Right.
And I'll ask him that. I have no problem asking him that.
And if you combine his confusion surrounding that, because he even had to ask you guys when he was up on the panel,
right?
DA's panel. He even had to ask what the name of that building was. He knew the Whites, and here's my last, I guess, thing that I'll share with you all. We all didn't know the name of the Whites apartment. That was not in our vocabulary. That was not part of our discussions for years. I don't think it was until about, it's been within a year's time. I don't know if it was
right
in 2026, year ending 2025, and it's just been months, but for sure within the last 12 months, I think that's a brand new term. And we learned it because this discovery starts getting put out.
Yeah. Yes. Very much so. I agree with you.
He knows the Whites, but he didn't know 500 Queen Road, which we've been talking about for years and years. So
I know. I agree with you. It's odd. That's why it's something that I wrote down in my list of questions for him for when I get to talk to him. I have quite a few, but that's one is to, like, this, but you don't know that. And is it why is basically, I mean, without being nasty about it, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Exactly. So just curious. I think a lot of people have these questions, as we will. So if you did order the broken plea and you're looking to read it, please do read through this, get your ideas together, and get your thoughts in place. Like I said, I'm going to give this a week or so for everybody to read it. And then I'm going to try to reach back out to Chris to say, hey, I think people have read the book. I would love to have you join us so that we can ask you some questions here, sir, and see what his thoughts are on that. He did say, yeah, of course, Dago, I'll join you. I have no problems with that. We'll see at this point and see what we can get question-wise with this. So write down the questions you have as you're reading through it, too. That'll help. So.
All right, Daigle. Well, thanks again, as always,
you,
for
Eddie.
having me up and sharing.
Yes.
Those are my thoughts.
And thank
so,
you. Thank
yeah,
you.
I'll probably see you tonight. I'll try to make it a point. And
Sounds good.
We'll
I
see
appreciate
everybody later. Love you all.
Yeah, I do
Have a
appreciate
good
the
evening.
support, brother. And yes, we love you very much. Appreciate your input, thoughts, feelings, opinions, and your knowledge always. So thank you, sir.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Have a great night, brother. All right. As always, great show. Thank you, Eddie, for doing what you do. And nothing but love and appreciation, truly and honestly. So thank you for that. Moving forward, guys, again, like I said, I will be joining the Devil's Advocates tonight for Crimes After Dark on the panel as we break down more of this, I'm sure. I'd love to see the support from all of you that do show up there. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. And please make sure to hit the like button if you have not done it. Share it out. Anybody that has chosen to donate to support us today in any way, shape, or form, thank you so much, and God bless. We have 4 out of 5 of our goals. That's amazing. Thank you for that. New members. It looks like we gained 14. Thank you for that. I do believe I did get a donation somewhere within the Cash App link, one of the Cash App links. So thank you for that. You guys are amazing. Thank you to my moderators, whom I could not exist without, truly and honestly. And thank you to all of you who are here that support my channel, that help me to come out here day after day to do this, to hang out with all you beautiful people. Guys, don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. Don't change a thing, because you truly are the beautiful people. Nothing but love to each and every one of you. Have a great night, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. And again, I will see those who are available in the mod chat. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true. A perfect picture